Greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and today I am inspired, encouraged, filled with faith, filled with faith and joy and hopes. And so today, the format of the stream, it may be a little bit different, okay? We're going to try something different. I've not dropped the link for the panel because here's what I'm thinking. There is a new channel, our friend London McLovin. He has a new channel and started a stream earlier. The channel is The Rebuttal Bar. I didn't really prepare. I visited there briefly, and it kind of got the inspiration and the conversations going within myself more than it was already. I mean, brothers and sisters, I'm having a fabulous day today, and I want to share some of this life with you, whoever you are. But the thought was, rather than open the panel here and miss an opportunity there's London McLovin and when I last looked, Zetetic Warrior there. Two brothers that I kind of resonate with. I love their energy and I love the way they think. They're pretty cool. So I may try and join that panel. So we'll go from there once I get through what I first want to get through. Sunday freedom and adventures. Because I had a couple of really inspiring thoughts last night as I was out reflecting on my life, observing what might be helpful to share. That was my thought. It's usually my thought, but what I realized is I've learned this a long time ago, right? I'll get to the point, but I learned this a long time ago. If you look at the greater structure in the systems of society, it profits from procrastination, it profits from problems. It profits from planning. So people are conditioned to plan and, prepare for the future, right? Grade school prepares you for high school. High school prepares you for college. College prepares you for a slave job. And wrong words. College prepares you for more opportunities of employment. And then we work our lives planning and preparing for retirement. And then when retirement comes, we're just preparing for death. We don't really live. It's a life of planning and preparation. So get to the point. I no longer live by plans. I live by intention, by purpose. I clearly know my purpose. I clearly know my intentions, what I intend to achieve or die trying to achieve. So I used to live by plan, by schedule, by circumstances, I guess. I don't know. I'd let a lot of things hold me back and limit me before. And one of the things I hear other coaches and other speakers talking about, one of the worst things you can do for yourself is say, I'll be happy when. Pay attention to what you say. If you're saying stuff like that, I'll be happy when. Are you unable to be happy now? You might convince your mind that you're not able to be happy until external conditions change. And that's just, you don't want to do that. Please don't make that mistake. Because happiness and freedom, they are available right now, here, today. When you accept it, when you recognize it, when you feel it within yourself, you stop denying your freedom. You stop imagining limits on yourself. Today, I got up this morning. Well, I realized this last night. What I am doing is I've got a lot of plans that have not yet worked out. I've allowed myself to adapt, right? And we've got to be able to adapt ourselves. When conditions change, if you're just rigid and I need this and I have to have this, if you're just fixed and rigid in what you think you need, yeah, life's going to throw you some, you'll be kicked in the figurative balls. If you don't allow yourself to adapt logically, how are you supposed to grow, right? Because to grow means to evolve, to overcome, to, embrace the new, bring forth the new, to let go of some of the old. And so the way I've been living is not so much by plan, but by intention and by purpose. And here's an example of this, right? So last night, after mentally evaluating my day, reflecting on the past, I started considering the next day. Should God awaken me in the morning, what do I want to accomplish? Well, of course, the same goals, blah, blah, blah. But, I look around and there's things to do. The yard could use a mow. The house could use some attention. The body could use a little more exercise. So and the spirit could use some refreshing too. So I started identifying all those things that I could do. And rather than set a plan, I recognized, I was setting my mind to start choosing which ones. And then the answer was obvious. You can do all of them. You can do everything you want, everything you intend to, you can do. So then I set out for the first church service, and I had in mind I was going to get to a couple of them, and then that was going to arrange a different scheduled conversation I had, and working things out. But as the day unfolded, everything just flowed. And I'm finding this more for myself. So I encourage you, right, within your own perspective of your life. There are obligations and commitments we've made, right? But so often we can be so focused on, a schedule or something with it that was a good idea at the time. But sometimes there's opportunities that we ignore. Just because we thought of something before and we want to stick to what we believed from the past, holding to that, we can miss a lot of what's going on. So if you have a plan, have clarity in your mind, in your heart of what it is you want to experience, what you want to achieve. Have that within you. And allow the love of that experience, the love of that achievement, the love of that idea to carry you forth through your intentions. Because when you've got clarity on your purpose, why you live, what it is you think you're here to do, when you've got clarity on purpose, and ideally your purpose is something you love to do, if you can find a way to take what you love doing and make that into something for the world, holy cows, man. Then you live. So Let me get to a point. Sorry. Thank you. I love you guys. I really do. Thank you to all of you in the chat. Familiar names I'm seeing. Kim Before the Storm, Jessica Jane. What's up, Cynthia? Even the tribe. Tribe, you are loyal, at least, with your... God bless us all. The reminder I received today at church was this. Man, I am so blessed. There are some inspiring people out there, brothers and sisters. If you lack inspiration within yourself, go find it. There's no excuse. There's inspirational videos, there's inspirational audiobooks, there's inspirational people all around. I've been blessed to discover many inspiring people in my town, but it's getting the attention of others that I've had challenges with so far. Anyway, the reminder I received at church today in the song that was being sung, God, if you take this story of Jesus, the relationship with the Son and the Father, that tight, close connection, that inseparable bond of love, that Father, the God of creation, the forces of creation, the forces of nature, they are there for you, okay? It's up to you to believe that. It's up to each of us to believe that God is here for us. God is here for you. Man's systems are not. Okay? Man's systems and the structures that have come into form, into acceptance of being within our society, man's systems of government, of economics, politics, religion, those things are not, I won't include religion as harshly, okay? Man's systems of government and economics, those two are just brutally clear to me. They are here to protect the oppressor, okay? The government systems, the political systems, the economic systems, they are written rules created by other people that benefit oppression and division. They benefit war. Okay. Our enemy is not each other, brothers and sisters. Our enemy is the beliefs and the thoughts that are enacted. Okay. So we've got men and women alive, and I used to be one of those who are willing to die and murder for the illusions of man's systems, for the illusions of freedom. Lies have been sold. That's a thought just came to me, man. For the illusions of freedom, lies have been sold. Corruption has been profitable because selfishness has been, people make excuses for selfishness, and that selfishness has enabled just sick people. There are sick, golly geez. There's a lot of evil that happens in this world, brothers and sisters, that has happened through the choices of men and women. Whose side are you on? If God is here for you and man's systems are not, I know so many people who are just so reliant on that paycheck, on the value of $1, so comfortable in the in the in the computer generated, accounting numbers. People think they're wealthy, and that God is here. for you. Not in some far off heavenly realm. The heavenly realm exists with you. It's a part of you, and you are a part of it. The creation and the force of creation, the author of history. Brothers and sisters, I mean, if you and I are real, then there is an obvious creator involved beyond just, randomness or circumstance. There is a perfection to the order of time and creation. There is a perfection to the order of time and creation. And we, you and me, brothers and sisters, we are a part of that. We are a part of that perfect order. Can you feel it? Can you feel the perfection within you, around you, as you? Holy cows. So I encourage you to ask yourself, where is your faith? Is your faith in some far-off politician, some far-off legislator, some far-off representative of what? Of you? Brothers and sisters, if you want to be free in your life, have faith in you and more than you, have faith in the unknown. Have faith that you can know. Hey, I did say I was going to do a panel thing. I'm going to, let me just pop over here and take a look. What are they going? Looks like they shut it down. Never mind. Hey, sorry, thank you for the patience. Brothers and sisters, for all those who may wish to join, please feel free. I just dropped the link to the panel for those who wish to join. Topic I do want to discuss is the freedom. Living life with freedom as an adventure. Hey, here's something I thought about in my own self-evaluation, brothers and sisters, something I encourage you. Just a perspective to consider for yourself. I actually think it's part of God's design. I started thinking this thought through anyway last night. Is there something within you, within us? Is there something within that stops us from doing things to take more care of ourselves? Is there something within that stops me from doing things to take more care of myself? Obviously, there is. As much time as I've had without a job or relationships, if I'd have been in the gym, holy crap, dude, I could have been like buffed and ripped, totally totally different shape and a totally different adventure I'd have been on. But no, I didn't worry about the body. I focused on my mind. But the honest answer is, yeah, I've been friggin' holding myself back, man. I've been making excuses on my physical health, on my devotion to God. I've been making excuses, honestly. It's not good to admit, but damn it, I am damn proud of what I have accomplished so far. And I think, each of us, without arrogance, we should be. I've heard a lot of the stories of some people, man, people are living some crazy lives. Mine's been a great adventure from the beginning. I mean, it really has. I am blessed, and I was blessed earlier to have a conversation with my mom. Mom, if you're tuning in, you know my love. Mom's perplexed about what's going on in her son's life too. She doesn't know what to do. And I know the way I approached her in the past, I probably felt her. I'm sure my feelings of helplessness were passed on to my poor mother, man. Golly jeez. Hey, this is something I wanted to bring up, whether or not there's a panel here. There's been a lot of discussion I've seen regarding regarding what a man is, what a woman is, masculine, feminine, whatever. You know what? I don't know the adventure of a woman. I can imagine it based upon what I've observed and heard. But I know what a man's purpose is. Our purpose here is to create a safe space for women and children. We're not here to be fighting against each other just for some egoic domination and bullshit, right? Men lose sight of what really is important, you know? And here I'm speaking from guilt, but from experience. I thought I was doing what was right, focusing my time on my employer, on the security of my income, right? You be an obedient and good employee, well, then you got this security of, income and benefits. You want that as a man for your family. You want to share the safety, the security. Well, you know what? Emotional security is most important. Physical security, the attachments, the bond, the time we spend together. Hey, Joe Cool, how you doing, brother?
Doing well, man. Smoking, taking a break, listening to my man. And got good shit with your mom, and I got some good shit. I sent you a link. I got some good shit to talk about when you're ready. Look at my big ass ice cream spoon. That's a fucking massive, Joe.
Good for you, man. That's something I've been allowing myself to really enjoy, the simplicity of flavors.
Yes.
Dude, humans make some amazing things for as far as flavors, but you got to give it up. God gives the source of flavors the ability to taste.
It do both ways, and that flavor shit is intricate. Each flavor has a different shape, and your tongue and inside of your mouth has an opening to receive a receptacle that shape. It has receptacles the shape of salt, the shape of pepper, the shape of paprika. It's crazy when you think of it. You have all these shapes to take all these flavors. Really an odd way to deliver flavor, bro.
It's fucking amazing. And the fact that humans figured that stuff out, they found those connections, that this is how it works, huh? Wow.
I got a Cuban dude I stay with. That dude cooks like nobody's business. His old lady, my old lady's the only one who can't cook. And God, she's not around. But him and his old lady, Joe, I've never had eggs Benedict or the paprika and a rosemary flake for breakfast. I mean, these guys cook, bro. And everything's so flavorful, literally full of flavor. What I sent you was I think it helps your philosophy. You said if I'll tell you the story. Can you play the vid? It's only like a minute of it. It's a short. It's on your phone. I sent it to you.
Yes.
All right. It'll be about drugs and shit. And we've had some of this discussion before. You'll see why it's pertinent. I don't want to fuck it up by giving an introduction.
Oh, with the rats.
Yes. You may have seen it
Beautiful.
before. The philosophy is brilliant, bro. I immediately thought about you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Here, let me come back. Where am I? I got so many damn
So
tabs
much shit
open, dude.
open.
Um, what? There it is. Here, and let me do this. So the folks in the chat got it too. Yeah.
That's good shit.
Is there a way to make that bigger on here?
I don't think so. It's gonna be vertical like that. I don't think it is. That's mostly they just need to hear it anyway. Whoever watching it.
Yeah, you know what? Here we go.
In a cage, and you give it 2 water bottles. One is just water, and the other is water laced with either heroin or cocaine. If you do that, the rat will almost always prefer the drugged water and almost always kill itself quite quickly. In the 70s, Professor Alexander noticed we're putting the rat in an empty cage. It's got nothing to do except use these drugs. Let's try something a bit different. So Professor Alexander built a cage that he called Rat Park, which is basically heaven for rats. They've got loads of cheese, they've got loads of coloured balls, they've got loads of tunnels. Crucially, they've got loads of friends, and they've got both the water bottles, the normal water and the drugged water. But here's the fascinating thing. In Rat Park, they don't like the drugged water. They almost never use it. None of them ever use it compulsively. None of them ever overdose. You go from almost 100% overdose when they're isolated to 0% overdose when they have happy and connected lives. You get a rat and you put it in a cage.
Isn't that interesting? If you give the rat no company, no amenities, solitude, he'll do drugs. If you give him friends and things to do, he'll choose better options. It's crazy, bro.
Joe, I heard that story sometime in my path of recovery. Before I started really trying to understand human behavior, that was something I learned in my own recovery, and it applies to my life. This is when I started seeing the world a little bit different. These people out on the streets, I used to judge them so hard, man. And yeah, and addicts, I had very little sympathy, even though I was a fucking addict myself.
Very good, very good.
The way I see it now, these substance abuse problems, particularly these unhealthy drugs, addiction and poverty, they are symptoms. They're symptoms of a diseased society. It's a community problem. It's not the individual problem. Those people are suffering. The people in poverty, the people without hope, suffering from addiction. It's because the community, they feel abandoned from the community.
Yes.
Or they find community and enable each other.
Very good. No, you're doing so excellent. I hate to fucking cut you off, but I wanted to say that's how it related to you. If there people are always saying, but there are shitty people out here that are gonna be shitty. You have a little proof on your side that if conditions change, people change, and you have scientific evidence of that to back it up now. And I also thought in terms of poverty and race. It's the same thing. You see an Indian reservation, the dog's gonna start his jumping up on the bed thing. Let me get out of his way. He goes. The Indians on a reservation, you know the conditions they live in. They drink a lot. Black folks, Cage, always good to see you. Same shit. Oppression makes a wise man mad. We do dumb shit. And poor motherfuckers, man. Period of any fucking race. You do more drugs, alcohol, and meth, apparently. When your life is fucked up. If we could find a way to change that, then Jack's fucking shit has a chance of working. A better chance than I would have imagined. And I remember that experiment with monkeys a long time ago doing cocaine. But I don't remember the part where they gave them everything they wanted and they stopped doing drugs. I knew that the monkeys would continue to kill themselves and take the cocaine until they died.
that community aspect is something different. But see, this is something that's evolved too in our lifetime. There has been an evolution in the understanding of the human mind. It just hasn't penetrated in all the places yet, right? Brene Brown, I don't know.
Don't ring a
There's
bell.
a, there's a lot of amazing speakers and people who I've myself have learned from. I think it's Brene Brown. If someone in the chat knows, I'm sure she has done excellent work regarding recovery, people suffering from substance abuse. Really, substance abuse it's a lack of self-awareness. Because if people really knew who they were, if they truly knew the potential within them that they carry, they wouldn't put so many poisons and toxins in their body.
Doesn't that
We would,
mean that someone is smart enough to know that this is what this is our natural state, what you're talking about? That's what we look like. So they must keep us drugged and confused with misinformation and disinformation in order to not allow us to achieve the place that we want to be, it seems.
Hey guys, can you hear me now or no? I think
Yes,
my
we
yeah,
can hear you. You're
yes,
good, Pep.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is very unnatural. I don't think this is the normal state of human beings. Right? It goes back to nature or nurture. I think it's a mixture of both, and I think this is socially engineered into people from for many generations now. It's been kind of a slow play. It's been a plan that's been going on very effectively for a long time to engineer people into this mind state where we get into these situations, right?
the past has been very. The hell is that?
That's a silly dog that jumped up here, man.
What's the dog's name, Joe?
Angel is her name. She's a ghost shepherd. They got another name for him, which I can't think of. Hold on. Oh, ghost healer. That's what it's called. Ghost healer.
Oh, for the breed.
Yeah.
Healers are beautiful, smart animals.
Yes.
From what I've seen.
Yes, they work with the guys on the horses and shit. They herd shit, and this motherfucker herds humans, herds the chickens. That's how we get the chickens back in the coop. Yesterday, I had to get on her for chasing the horses. The horses were out playing, and she wanted to take off and play with them. And it's an electric wire in between her and the horses, and they run up and down. It's a private road, dirt road, but still trucks and shit come down here. But it was so exciting to see them fucking horses run, Jack. I've never seen that except on TV. I hadn't touched a horse until about, I don't know, a couple of years ago. It was the first time I touched a horse since I've been traveling. Now I'm friends with the across the street. They had to put the gate up because they kept sneaking over here to my house. They'll be outside my window when I wake up. They be looking in my bedroom. I go out there and play with them. The people had to put an electric gate up to stop them from doing that. So I'm lucky. And yesterday they were out there racing. Then another horse joined them. It was incredible.
You know what? You know why, Joe? They're attracted to you like that. They're waking up. You're waking up. You're sitting outside your window. The cymatics behind your laugh. It just attracts critters and fucking. They're frolicking and shit. You get all types of weird animals and critters.
This is true. I used to sell a lot of drugs, and I took a lot of alleys, and I like animals, so I made friends with a lot of dogs. So throughout my day while I'm selling drugs, I hit alleys and play with all the dogs. And I can remember a couple times the police, and you're not out here to see the dog. No, really, he's a friend. I don't even know the owner, but because I run the street so much, I know the dog.
So what are you? What are you, Joe? You're like IAMs or something. You're the dog food dealer. You got dog food. Yeah. Oh no,
the IAMs dealer.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is a true story too. One day I was doing that shit and I had some dope in my hand. The police came. I was fucking with a particularly mean German Shepherd, and it was nighttime. I threw the dope in there with the dog, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He searched. I was just rubbing the dog, man. He's a friend. Blah blah blah. He rode off, and the dog was acting crazy. He couldn't get nowhere near it. He rode off. I was able to reach my hand in there with the dog and get the drugs. That's a true story.
Hey, welcome, Dominic. I kind of I want to touch on these comments that Mindfuck shared for us because it's in line with the topic too. The freedom, living life as an adventure.
Very good, Mindfuck. Very good.
So I agree. People do need community to agree. Yes, we are supposed to turn inward towards God. Amen.
We need community to a degree. She's saying we all need people to a degree. But
Yes.
as opposed to turn inwards toward God, which we were just talking about, when you do that, you never feel alone. Very good. That'll help with the rat park effect. If you're alone, you turn to God and you're building your own rat park and you truly enjoy your own company. I do both and can walk your own path. Very good, Mindfuck. You should hop your ass on panel one day.
Hey, in this other part, everyone has their own unique path, and it is meant to be traveled alone, not in a pack. The pack will keep you from doing what you need to do.
It's also very good. The Bible has a saying that, and I'm going to paraphrase here because I don't remember it, but each man has to get his on his own. You know, you can't get it off of another guy. So your path is unique to you. All right. You know, it is your path. Right. As people may join you and come and go and shit like that, but your path is yours. I agree with it.
Hey, honestly, I want to tie this into my path, right? And the message I want to share, right? What I'm hoping to offer. My path, it allowed me to just what was pointed out, what we were just discussing. It was my path allowed me to realize and recognize the people I loved so much, the people I was willing to die for. They were holding me back. And
Go ahead.
And I truly, by experience, I believe that other part, that God allows us to face these challenges, these these periods of lack and insecurity and pain. God allows us to do that so that we turn to God.
I believe that.
I did. Okay. And so, brothers and sisters, please try and listen. My words are coming from this experience.
Hey, Jack, can I add on to that a little bit, please?
Dick got a weed plant in the background sitting in his window.
Hold on, Joe. Much love, Richard. But hold on for a second. Let me add on to what Jack was saying there.
Oh yes, Dick.
Just harvested a little one that I knew would finish early, so I could stop.
Look at that motherfucker in the background. Very good. All right, I'm sorry.
But Jack was saying that the people that were closest to him were actually holding him back, and that's very funny because if you look at the the people in power, they have something called a reverse absolution ritual. For example, you can one example would be the cremation of care.
I was reading about that yesterday.
So there you go. That's a nice synchronicity. So with the cremation of care, it's an example of a reverse absolution ritual, and what they do pretty much is they play around with these ideas of what you care about, what the ego cares about, and they kind of manipulate them in a magical way, in a cult way, where it has more of an effect than just being played by them. And now you're setting up the stage for an effect. And it's all cause and effect. So now you're setting the stage for the effect. And, you're creating the cause with intention and making the effect also with intention.
If you're familiar with the Grove, Bohemian Grove, and the tall owl statue, if you ever
Moloch.
The ritual, yes. If you're familiar with the ritual where they sacrifice a kid, they supposedly used to sacrifice a real kid. They got busted. Someone snuck in there with camera, and now they sacrifice a dummy of a kid.
Well, it's
But
called
that,
Joe. Just to add on to that quickly, it's called an
yeah,
effigy, and
yeah,
even yeah. So it's like a representation of something.
they
Like
burned
this
the
is where like
kid
a
in.
voodoo. This is where like a voodoo doll comes from, right? Like an effigy, a
They
representation
burned
of
the
something.
kid in
And
effigy. Yes.
and you know it's very hilarious. Like when they
Mm,
did nuclear testings and like bomb testings and weapon testings, they used to make effigies and actually blow them up and shoot them and do all types of weird shit.
I
I'm
remember.
telling you, it's beyond just like physical stuff. It's completely mental. It's completely fucking wizardry,
That was
sorcery, if you want to call
cremation
it.
of care ritual. If you guys are
No,
familiar,
but
so
even when they tested bombs and shit, they made effigies and blew them up for a reason.
I remember
It's not
that.
just like it's not just a physical thing. You can search it
Yes,
up.
yes,
Like,
yes. It's the
yeah.
same with voodoo dolls, right? And supposedly it's even more powerful if they can get some of your essence, maybe some clothes or hair or
Well,
something, Jack.
well, like, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this is exactly what the internet is doing, even inadvertently. Like the best poison
They,
is one that you don't know that is affecting you. It's slow. It's a slow acting poison.
I agree.
You know.
yep.
Yeah.
The people who lack awareness spread confusion, spread fear. So, Cage, you interrupted me to say you were going to add on to what I was saying. Do you have any relevance to what I was saying about myself?
I wasn't really talking to I don't know about you, Jack. You're your own individual, so I have no authority to tell you.
Well, but Cage,
Uh, give
what
an
I'm what
example about
I'm
yourself.
what I'm offering here is I am presenting your words back to you because I allege that you were not honest. I allege that your ego wanted to interject some thoughts you thought of, even though it really didn't have relevance to the point I was making or what I was actually saying.
I
So,
apologize, Jack.
Due
Sorry about that.
respect, it was relevant to the conversation. Your part was different.
generally, yes, it was.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah,
What I'm offering, though, is
yeah.
for
Go
people.
ahead.
What I'm offering is for people to please start considering who God is to you. And it's for your own benefit, honestly. Because if you believe God doesn't exist, well, you're just that's I okay. So if you start with the premise that there is a God, if you believe God is in some far off place, some distant place, some unknowable thing that you'll never, please reconsider.
Sky wizard, as people say, the sky wizard, the untouchable sky wizard.
I was reminded at church today. I was moved myself by the sermon and by the song. And the reminder was in the praise is God is here for you. And the reminder from the sermon was fill in the blank. Father, with the mindset of the Father that Jesus spoke of was the context. But Father, you are. If we want to know someone, then we spend some time thinking about them, trying to understand them. We can do that with God. And I tell you what, as you start making that list of God, Father, you are,
Yeah.
you'll find a lot of yourself in there.
Curious, Jack. Father, you are what? Give me some of what you put down if it's not too personal.
Good question.
Eternal. Oh, I started that. The conclusion I quickly came to, Father, you are all that matters. Physically and mentally and emotionally, God is all that matters. If it didn't matter, it wouldn't be. Right? It makes sense.
Well, God is all, so of course He's all that matters. Yeah, right.
Amen. So, how do I want to feel about all that matters?
No, the
Because I
question.
don't know all that matters. I only know the matter that I have learned of. Right?
Yeah.
So, have some faith. Have some faith that there's a God that's with you right now, waiting, seeking your attention, right? Reminded of the prodigal son, the son that from the story of the Bible, the son's takes his inheritance early, goes off, parties it up, lives a life. But as soon as he returns, the Father is there.
Hey, Jack, can I ask a question, please?
Please.
Like, what's the consensus? Like, what's the definition of God? Because I'm sure there's many definitions. Like, what is God to you? Like that idea that you're talking about. So it's an honest question.
I shared my answers. What is God to you, Cage?
Well, to me, it's not someone like or something really. It's like it's not a physical thing. It's like it's more of like it's like the essence of life, right? Like you see within life, like through mathematics, the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, all this types of it's all lines up. Like there's some sort of an algorithm. There's a grand creator. Like there's something that has lined
Hey,
all this stuff up.
there's
And, it's
a
obvious. So.
Cage. There's a
I don't
go
know
ahead.
exactly what people have all these different
Can I?
ideas of God, Allah, Yahshua, God, whatever, all these different names, right? But for me, it's just like the essence of reality, the algorithm of reality.
Yes.
Really.
Cage, what would you to put? Father, what was it, Jack? Father, you are.
Yep.
Cage,
Fill
what
in the
would
blank. Father, you are.
Father, you are. What would you to put, Cage?
Father, you are what? Something.
That's it. Go ahead.
Well, the idea is if
Welcome
it's
to the conversation, Cage.
Thank you. The idea is if
Tune
it's
in at
someone
some
you
point.
have a relationship with, what would you describe it as? But I actually, while you were talking, Cage, I noticed myself, I deflected from the answer instead of offering.
Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
forgotten. You, it's coming back to how I hang on the shit. I haven't forgotten that you
Yeah.
didn't give me
So
a good
the
answer.
original question is, what is God to you, Jack?
No. We got a question on the table, please. Jack filled in a piece of paper today at church, and it was an
That's not 21
exercise.
questions, though.
It was
Because
an exercise. Okay, relax. It's just a question.
I was
Jack,
gonna ask, what's the definition of God in
I
this
know, but there's
context
a
that we're
question on the
speaking?
table
It's a
that you're
very
being rude.
basic question to ask.
I get
Cage,
it.
Like
please.
It's just a little rude to truncate my shit in order to, because it makes it like your shit's more important than mine. Which you probably got your point across, Cage. Apparently, I don't know. We can go on. We can move on.
I actually feel Cage has an intellectual understanding, but perhaps may not be as intimate as possible. Okay, Cage, and I don't know you or your relationships whatsoever. The question for me, here's the question I started asking myself is, who am I?
Mm-hmm.
How do I know anything other than this moment right now? It's the only certainty that I can have is
Nonsense.
now.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it like that, but the past. Past is beneficial. You know that as well. You don't only know the now. Past is a good thing. It can benefit you. Learn the past. You don't repeat it. Blah blah blah. You know the past as well. You're not just the now, but
I only know in this now what comes forth, right? Because there's this observation came up for me recently. In recent memories, I was having conversation about distant past, about my time in the military and characters I interacted with. And it's like, holy cows, I'd kind of forgotten some of those stories until it's brought forth. So the only certainty that I know is now. That's it. I believe I did different things in the past. I believe different things happened, but so there's no witnesses so far.
And then now is somewhat of an illusion too. So there's that
You're
paradox
right,
as
man.
well tied into it. It's kind of trippy.
Yeah, I didn't want
Amen.
to divert, but yes.
So I found a way, and this is hindsight, I found a way to become comfortable with uncertainty. I became comfortable recognizing I don't know. I don't know.
Jack, this will keep you out of trouble. You become more certain, more comfortable with uncertainty. Yeah, it was just still a journey, you know. All right.
Amen.
All right.
Amen. Amen.
You know, it'll come back to bite you
I ain't
later.
done growing. You're right.
Yes.
My faith has grown tremendously, though. And brothers and sisters, this is okay. The goal of faith. What is the end result? If you imagined yourself with the faith of Jesus, you know, willing to just bring forth miracles in the name of God, right? If you had that faith within you.
If you can hold your thought, can I give you the faith of Jesus thing when Peter, many times he chastised the disciples, bro, about the lack of faith.
Yeah.
And one good
How
one
much
is
longer must I suffer with you?
yes. Oh, I almost said he couldn't stand him. I wouldn't say that, but he thought he said this. He said there was a great storm. He sleep in the bottom of the boat below deck. There, oh, we're certainly gonna die. And that was one of the times he come up and
He
waved the
called them
strong way.
dogs.
Like, yes,
You know?
you live with the Son of God. If I can't get you to understand, I have no chance with anyone else. Yes, he had great faith, and he
I
saw
still
us.
didn't get. I still never got
He
like a
told
proper
them they would
response.
be two-faced and turn on him, and they did. You know.
Yes, I'd
Right.
never do it. You in particular are gonna deny me. Yes, he thought they were like lowly, bro. So he had great faith, as Jack was saying. The disciples didn't even have faith compared to him. The people I quote every day were dogs compared to this dude. So yeah.
Yeah. You know, come to think of it, do you need faith without adversity? Is that the prerequisite of why you
Faith.
need faith?
Damn near it sounds logical. I'm just throwing it in my
That's
head,
a
but
great question.
Just a thought that came to me.
it
Well,
sounds logical.
This is something I was yesterday on the panel. We had
Wait,
discussion.
stop.
I want to bring it to this, if I may.
All right, I don't lock it in.
Regarding go ahead, Joe.
All right, I'm sorry if I still got it. Faith. Dick just said
Do you need
adversity.
faith without adversity?
So
adversity,
perhaps this world
would you
is
even
full
need
of adversity. So perhaps it's to get us to know faith, which is to get us to know God. The entire purpose of this world is to get us to know faith, which is to get us to know God. And then we graduate and we're closer to him when we're done. It's just I thought you might like that with Jack.
And then I think I've heard Jack say this as well, but like the place we find faith is not in the pastor or other people necessarily. I mean, you might be inspired, but the true source is within you. It's that, you know, my answer to Father, you are, is that you're with me, you know, or you've never.
Yes.
Jack's first
give me what
answer.
I need.
Jack first answer.
Yeah.
Before he answered, he said, you know what I found out? When you answer that question, you'll find you in there. And your answer is, you know, I'm in there. It's interesting.
That's it.
Absolutely. Regina Smith, amen. Bless you and thank you continually. Thank you. God is love. Like I love Jack Talcott and you all in Christ. Love. Blessings. Thank you. And
Bless
that
you, Regina.
is really, I think that's why the story of Jesus has been passed down the way that it has. A man who's willing to die so that others may live freely with a pathway to know God, to know love.
Heavy cat.
And hey, the faith versus adversity. I love where you went with that. The connection I wanted to make to the conversation from yesterday regarding selfishness and virtue.
Mm-hmm.
Those things we don't have an opportunity to give or to take until the opportunity or thought arrives.
Okay.
So is someone generous or selfish if they don't think to give?
Yeah.
No. But when a choice comes into our lives, when a choice to be selfless or selfish When those choices come up, there's a guidance system within us. And if a guilt comes up within you after a choice you made, don't ignore it.
It
Consider
sounds
it.
like you're letting the
Can
other
I
guy off.
may I present something to you guys quickly? I want to hear your opinion on it.
Okay.
Because, like, you know, with this whole Christianity thing, right? So
Yeah.
let's say there's a second coming of Christ. Let's say Christ did come back right now. He was in the flesh right now. Do you
Yeah.
think he would go along with this structured religion, or would he be like, this is a bastardization of the true teaching?
Those are the only two
And
options.
and
Are those
these
the
are
only two?
no, but it's like some order out of chaos nonsense, or would he be somewhere in the middle, or somewhere, you know, in any other option?
I
Where do you
think
think
he
it would
has.
be? I'm not saying
think
there's one
yes.
or two options, but where do you think it would be? Like,
I think
logically?
yes. You, Jack. I think yes. You in particular.
Well,
No, everybody. You know?
Oh, I got an answer, but go ahead, Jack.
he was a radical. He was standing against the established religions, politics. He was standing for freedom.
So
Of
wouldn't
God.
that be the same thing nowadays if the second wouldn't he be going against all this fucking program, all this nonsense, you know, that's being perpetuated onto people to mind control them and easily, you know, put them into a cage that's easily maintainable and, you know, influenced. You know, it's very simple. It's just fucking mind magic.
I would like. Wait. I want the other guy's to answer before we move on. Sarah, Dick. I forgot who the other cat is. I ain't spoken on.
Dominic.
Oh, Dominic. It's been a while, Dominic.
I think he'd come back a fiscally conservative Republican that would vote for Trump and would be very right-leaning.
Exactly. That
Wait,
would fit the narrative, right?
So
That's
he'd
Jesus,
love
man.
religion. According to Dick, he'd love religion. At least Christianity he would.
That's right.
Sarah,
Praise
what do you think?
Dick, you are hilarious.
Look, this is the kind of guy. Remember,
Jesus, because I mean, I don't really look at the Christ that way. It's a spirit that's in all of us, right? So the idea that the Christ to make it just one being that has this elite supreme status above everyone else, I really don't see it that way.
Well, I'm not sure he saw
Well,
it.
and what you guys
that
don't
way either.
understand is that Dick has an advantage over you all. He drinks the metaphysical teacup that really has
Okay,
nothing
you
in
didn't
it.
even answer the question. So what are you asking questions
Yes,
for?
and it's
We
Sarah's
asked
turn
you,
now,
you don't
guys.
participate. Now you want us to play your funny game. Funny guy.
And Sarah, I don't
That's
think
a simple
Sarah said.
question, bro. It's very odd. It's
Yeah, I
very
think
simple.
Sarah's been silent
I don't
since
think
she's
she even
been
got to
here.
say hi. Let her
Right.
answer the question.
Welcome, sister.
Well, sorry,
Howdy,
Sarah.
Sarah. Cheers. We are very rude.
I'm all right. I can wait.
There
I haven't
it
really
is.
had anything to contribute, so.
The question was, if Jesus came back, the second coming of Christ, as they talk about, would he even dig the church and religion?
He's never.
What
had
he did,
support for
what he
religion.
quote unquote.
He's always
Hold on. What he
considered the Sadducees and the Pharisees as hypocrites.
Very good.
He would look
Amen.
at all of us. He would look at all of us like fucking retards. Like, what the fuck are you even doing? Like, to
Hey,
be honest,
Kate.
completely honest with you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut up now. My bad.
I'm thinking the religions are not damned. They'll be just like us. There'll be good guys, bad guys. There'll be some chick who goes on Sundays and is good to her kids, and there'll be some guy who's plotting to dominate and control other people, and they will be judged as people in those religions. Personally,
All that we can ever know comes from and is allowed by God. Simple as that. We're just humble, ignorant, yet very.
But Jack, don't you think your God would give you unlimited, you know, the perpetuation for knowledge? Like you know, if you put in the work, you'll be able to, you know, go to whatever level you're able to get to. Like, I don't think there's some like cap. I think it's unlimited, and God gives you that right.
read
to look into it,
Ecclesiastes. Read
you know?
Ecclesiastes, written by Solomon, the wisest man supposedly to ever
Like,
walk.
no one's like putting you on like a, you know, like a level where you can't jump this high. After that, you're discarded. No, you can go wherever you want, and that's free will, and that's what your God, you know, what God or whatever they say is, you know, gives everybody. You don't have to be limited to anything. You know?
But you know, in some ways, Cage, for the perpetuation of knowledge, to exist, that would be the only way to allow something other than God, because if that ceased to exist, an all-knowing being would in essence be God, would it not? I mean,
Interesting.
if it has all knowledge, maybe not, maybe it doesn't have the ability, just has the knowledge, but it can't execute on it. So
Very good again, Dick. Ah, that was dope too. That was dope. You made me lose it off in to say that shit was so dope.
I
It
like
is
when Joe
there.
does that.
I don't think humans have that capacity. I think our
Yeah.
psyche will shatter at a point, which is why we can only take in so much without, losing your mind. So you do have to work up to these things, or else you will lose your fucking mind.
Dope.
I do agree. I do agree with you, Sarah. Like, there's parts like, if you look into the esoteric too deeply, you'll lose your mind. You're surely to lose your mind, or whatever it is. So
Solomon, by the way, said it was unachievable. He said it was. He starts off vanity. Go ahead.
Sorry, what if that's the goal? To lose your mind and give
Exactly.
your mind over to God. There was that question about why would we believe that we cannot think like God? We certainly can have logic and reasoning and love behind our thoughts, and we just need to recognize the limits of what our knowledge is. But I think Sarah brought up the Akashic records, and I mean, there's many paths to knowledge, both in the physical form and beyond.
Yep. And I was
stuck.
looking into different forms. I was looking into Joe. I was looking into different forms of mind control, and this is another mind control program.
I was too.
Where
I was
you're
just
putting
doing
yourself
that too,
limited.
Cage. That's crazy. I was just looking into that shit too about 3-4 days ago. Synchronicity.
Of course, brother. Of course.
These lives are very synchronistic when you pay attention.
What was that? Russ. Ah, that was good, baby.
Not much, Joe. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, but actually,
hope I didn't make a mistake by jumping up here and jumping in line.
Again, these are limiting beliefs that are deeply implanted into our subconscious mind, which literally formulates the bubble of reality that we live within. Each of us. Right? So you put this, you inject yourself with that code of reality, and that's bro. All of a sudden, now you're limited to that. So enjoy that. I'll go do whatever I'd like, and you can do whatever you want, and that's the point.
Cage. Sometimes I'm trying to understand the relevance, especially on these panels. It's real hard to follow because of what goes from one topic to another. And I'm curious, we're talking about all these concepts of God, right? So now let's bring it into the why. Why does it matter?
The concepts of God?
Yeah. What's it matter what God is?
Hey, Jack, you're gonna love this one, right? I'll answer why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because in that subconscious programming, how you formulate your matter, like that program of what matters to you, it actually formulates matter. You see how what matters to you, it has the same word matter, like everything else that's formulated into our reality. Because it's completely linked together. What matters to you on a deep subconscious level actually formulates matter through a subconscious program.
So that's related to God, Cage, in some way.
Well, God gave you. Well, if you go back to God's this concept, right? If you look at the the mentality that Jack's perpetuating, which I don't necessarily disagree with. Well, then, all opportunities are presented to you, and I think it would actually be a disservice to God not to explore and try having that deep introspection and learning reality. Wouldn't that be like a disservice to God? He gave you a brain, he gave you this discernment and these opportunities, and you're just going to waste it.
I think so.
Right. So what do you do with what you've learned?
You apply it into the real world, and you try making your life and the people around you better in whatever way you can.
Amen. We're here to serve the world, not the government, not the employer, not the banks. We're here to serve the world, and the world just happens to include other people, whether we like them or not. They're part of the world that we share.
Russ, let's get the new guy in.
I heard somebody posed a question a few minutes ago of what is God?
Okay.
I would ask that individual, what is that God in their eyes? Because there's a lot of people that talk about the God or thy God that allows them to go through life through respect and honor and love for prosperity and abundance. So what God is it that each and every one of you guys worship in that righteousness?
I'll give you mine. It's quick. I believe God literally is love. Loyalty, honest, truth. I believe that literally is God. I believe Jesus' name he literally is peace and love, forgiving, mercy, understanding, those things. So that's my God.
So isn't there some truth into praising God and raising Jesus? But how are you raising Jesus if you're not raising your own vibrations through the consciousness of one's own soul?
Well, you can't do both. You'd have to do both simultaneously. Any progress you made is from Jesus, and certainly in a way.
Hold on, let me say something quickly. Even any even any basic level of introspection, like if God has all these like merciful and like peaceful and all these different characteristics, why would God create the opposite? Right? That must
we
be there for a reason.
Yes. I thought
it must be there for a
shit.
reason, and it's very valuable. Like you can't have one without the other.
It seems logical.
Let's see, what I've seen a lot of is a lot of people believe in this God that they all talk about. Now, I'm not much on the God that everybody else talks about. I talk about the God that I think about and how I act out here in the metaverse.
I understand. Explain to us
because
your
everybody's
God,
got their own
I'd like to
interpretation.
understand that more.
Give us your God too.
Some of your
Well, I think that is how we present ourselves out here, right?
As
would be a representation of whatever that God is that you're following.
You're partially right. I think we either serve the God of truth and love, or we serve the devil and demons of fear and confusion.
But wouldn't that be a part of God, though? Because how could you have one without the other? Didn't God create everything? So how could God create that, and then you're saying
let Russ.
It makes zero. It makes no logical sense, really.
Okay, well, resolve the paradox. Thank you.
Well, I didn't jump up here and to get in those lines, and I've been in them. I'm not interested in that shit. If that's what's going to happen here, I'm going to bounce right now. But there is a serious conversation to be had, and I think that's what a lot of these panels are missing.
That's what we're doing today.
I was going to say, we're not doing it now. It was so serious you hopped up here. We're doing it now.
So, I mean, I think that's what we really all got to look at is in our actions of how we act, and all of us has got some sort of faith in this God. Well, what is that God you're representing in your actions? Because actions speak louder than words.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think an individual can totally find themselves in the consciousness of their own souls of who that God is that they're representing with all these chatterboxes in their ear. That's time you're going to have to give yourself.
I don't know about that one, Russ. I would assume part of my duty is to learn to find God in the midst of this chatterbox, in the midst of this nonsense. I think that'd be part of the task.
But wouldn't you find that inside yourself? Because that would be your representation of what that
I'm
God
sorry.
is,
You misspoke or you misunderstood me. I didn't mean finding God in those people. I meant even with all the interruptions around me, I still must find God. I'm not. I'm trying to answer your question. You're cutting me off and you're not listening. Your question was finding God in you. I'm saying I agree. But in the midst of all, you said, wouldn't it be better if all this clutter was gone and you still find God in you? Stop it. I am saying that I think part of the task is to learn to find God in you amongst the clutter, loud noise, racket, people on panel talking shit.
Isn't that a lot of distraction, though, of what everybody else thinks that God is to them that haven't found them yet is distracting you?
It is distraction. I'm an adult. I like to fight. I'm all right with
So how would you disagree? How would you disagree that you need your own time in your own head and your own soul? to find
That's not
yourself.
the part I disagreed with, is it?
Well, I don't know. You kind of swung around there and danced around it and kind of made yourself
Russ,
look good.
No,
with
we're
the
cool. We're cool. I've been on this nigga for like 5 years. He's cool.
Okay.
I mean, I'll have a real conversation with you, but you know what I mean? We've been down this road, Joe, years ago.
Yes,
you remember the time that Talco told me, "Hey, 5-speed, the good book says that you must do what the government tells you to do." Remember that
but
conversation?
that's a bad move. That's a
Remember
bad
that conversation?
I don't.
Now, that was a long time ago, Joe.
Can you guys let me jump in here for a moment? Okay. Because, Russ, what I heard you say, I actually agree with, in that the God we believe, the God in our mind, the God we receive within us, that is shown through our actions, our words, and our deeds, right? That's what I understood you to say, Russ?
Yes. That's
what I roll by. Respect, honor, and love.
Okay, well, I have actually seen an absence of respect, honor, and love from you towards me specifically. So to hear you, I see a lot of people making claims about how great and wonderful they are. And I'm saying, hey guys, let's go to God, all right?
Let's be humble.
Well, okay. Can I respond?
Please do.
He basically is making the claim that I've done something or done something to him, and that I'm claiming to be this big person, but I'm not the one up here on a panel trying to be popular, or on a broadcast trying to be popular, passing out information.
What are you doing right here and now,
But
Russ?
how is anything I ever
What
said
is
to you,
your
Jack, was there to
intention?
intentionally harm you?
Russ,
I mean, you this is the longest I've been on your panel.
I know, because of your patterns of behavior, Russ. You're a hypocrite, dude. If you believe your God is,
I'm gonna bounce on out.
Actually,
no bounce. I got a question for Bill. I want you and Russ.
I see this.
Wait. Calm down. We are men. Calm down.
Cool,
everybody relax.
It's not a big deal.
I don't want you to leave yet. I got a
Everybody's
question.
not going to always respond the way you want them to, Russ. You know, you got to let people have their own reaction.
Yeah, I got a question for Dick, and I might want your input. So don't bounce just yet. It was about what we were just talking about. Girl, I've been trying to hold this motherfucker. Can a person know all of God? Where did you guys fall on that?
No,
I think we should. We learn every day. No. There's always work to be done on oneself. We have to look in ourselves before we can start passing out any information on anything of value, unless we have found ourselves. We are passing out nothing but garbage.
I hope you recognize why those words are coming from you, Russ. I hope you recognize why God is delivering those words through you for you to hear.
Because let Dick get in. I let Dick get in. I asked him the fucking question.
You can find a state in your meditation where you have a sense of knowingness that everything you would want to know is instantly answered. It's instantly available.
I agree, and I've been there.
It's not sustainable in my experience, because as you go interact with the real world and deal with, it's like if you're in a fasting state and you're maybe taking a fucking Epsom salt bath and you're sitting there with the lavender and the candle on, and you're totally present, and just all of a sudden it's like whatever you seem to want to know in that moment, it's easily accessible. It's that Akashic aspect that we're connected
understand.
to. But
I was wondering the same. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean I
was wondering the same thing, Dick. That it looks like when you're over there, I certainly have said you have all knowledge; it's all there. But in this conversation, I have to admit that what I thought was all could not be all. I thought it was all, but it was just.
Well said.
Yeah, God is infinite. It is ever expanding, and we will never ever know everything. We will always have more to learn.
It's logical.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I heard this described by someone else. I don't remember where I heard it from. Maybe it was Yogananda's writing, but the path of devotion, trying intentionally building that personal relationship with God, with the infinite, you know, like Russ did say, some time to pause and reflect and consider what that brings forth. While the world is constantly changing, it's easy to get bored, right? We get bored because our minds have found limits. But when you go for the bliss of God, when you seek that connection to knowing more, feeling more, expanding more in with God, there's a newness every time. It's like a new discovery of bliss and just,
I agree.
it changes, but that's where we can pursue.
I get that when I see the mountains. Like I hate being with other people in a car. It's that hard not to think about God and start bawling. And when I'm alone, I'm a woman. And it is what you said. I can be listening to my song about put that bitch up against the wall. And then suddenly I see a mountain, I see God, and and my whole world fucking changes.
Dick?
Papa Luigi, nice to see you. Okay, there you go.
Yep. Welcome,
There,
Jesse.
Hello.
And Jesse,
Cheers.
good to see you as well, Jesse.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Jack.
Yeah,
Hi,
oh, that's
people.
fucking Lou. That's Lou in the dark.
Papa Luigi is our endearing friend, Mr. Lou
It's
Bass.
so dark.
I love you, brother.
This is a small phone. I couldn't see you, man.
Jack and numbers and chat. I'm gonna bounce out of here because I come up and said what I said, and
Appreciate it.
if I hang out much long, I don't play well with outside the truth. But much love, everybody.
Easy, right?
Yeah, you should
So-
look
Hey,
at
can you
yourself
guys
a
hear me
little
okay?
closer, Russ.
Yeah, we got you, Lou. Yeah,
Oh,
You're
thank you.
soft.
yeah. You're a little low. Yeah, your Jack could bump you up.
Hold on. Oh, wow. That's as high as I can get it.
Yeah,
I can
It's
see your
God.
face more when you do that.
yeah. Whatever
let me
you
see.
did on the computer, right?
Let me see if I can get my earplugs in, and that'll help.
Yeah, I think that's porn reflecting off your glass screen. I do believe that's midget porn I
Look,
see in your
look,
glasses.
look who it is.
Okay,
Look, you see it?
I see it. I thought that was magic. When I first got into this shit, I didn't even know how to sub people. I didn't know subbing was a thing. I was really no, and I had put 2 videos up. My phone was full, and I put some chick talked me into putting them on YouTube so she could see it. But anyway, someone else saw it and posted it, and that's how I started cop watching. But I was so new to YouTube. I'd just been watching dumb shit. Apparently, I go over my friend's house and he had this set up with a bunch of different channels and different shit, and it was previous recordings of people who had been, doing shit and talking, and some of it was me. And that memory pops in, Lou. When I see your TV screen, he had a really massive TV. To this day, I think he was, the cops trying to get me. And he is just recording everybody's shit and had them all on a big screen like that. I didn't even know that. I was like, wow, this was days ago. You can still see this. He's like, yeah. And he's like, I got to record it. Like, people recorded. That's the first time I realized the internet, that shit lasts. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, man. Yes.
I keep mine on a big screen because I don't watch TV at all. So I just converted my TV into a computer monitor, basically.
Yeah, I just cast YouTube on the TV too. That's pretty much it. My girl watches the weather. That's about it. She watched the weather in the morning, the news, and the rest is YouTube.
I don't even watch freaking weather anymore. Just pretty much just interesting stuff on the internet and you guys. Jack, especially Jack. Like, I mean,
Lou,
really,
I want to finish that
best
story. I don't know why.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I thought you were done.
No. I wanted to add that guy. I don't know why. I feel like being mean or something, but I had just stopped doing heroin, selling heroin, and I was girl. I can't say the word pimp, but I had bitches and all that shit. I just stopped all of that shit, and I was serious. I just squared up, spent like I don't know how many thousands to get my driver's license and be a square individual. As I'm in the DMV. And he's been trying to get me to do a bunch of illegal shit for a while. He is telling me, man, I got some friends right now. They need some cocaine, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I don't even fuck with that shit, man. I used to sell heroin. They want that too, man. As much as you can get. I'm like, dude, I'm out of the business. He pressured me to do that. And then he did the same thing with the women. I think that nigga was a cop today. To this day, Chi-Town, Mike Z. I think you're a cop, man. All right, I had to get that out, bro. I swear, that was just the trippiest shit ever, bro.
Want to change the topic?
Yeah, please do.
We have a lot of interesting people that we have on the missing link, and one person we just booked today was the Viking shaman that got arrested on, the breach of the Capitol. So he's gonna be on the missing link on October 12th. So he's a very fascinating guy. He's actually quite intelligent. I saw him on someone else's panel, and I reached out to him, and we just booked him today.
Very good. I want to see that, Jesse. Let us remind me, because I forget. I get high a lot. Remind me. I don't want to miss that.
Yes. I've heard a couple of interviews or a couple of videos of him. He does. He sounds very intellectual, very spiritual.
I am told that he was a red herring. He was not even the guy the way the media, and who trusts media nowadays. Do you know guys no more than I do? What about that dude? Who is he? What is he?
We don't know who or what he is, but he's very intelligent and about the different systems, about, bringing kind of the government down and things like that, kind of very much in alignment with a lot of the stuff that we are talking about. But he was brought up on a Twitter space for Derek Bros. He's the willing witness. He's got like 100,000 Twitter followers, 100,000 YouTube followers. And he just hammered this guy saying he's a CIA asset and all this kind of stuff. And he wouldn't even really hear the guy out. And my first message to him was saying, hey, you're on my friend Derek Bros's Twitter thing, and I'd like to bring you on the missing link. And then after I heard him just hammer this guy and go, yeah, that guy was a dick. I'm like, that guy was a dick to you. I don't do my interviews like that.
Shit. I don't condone that shit.
I had to resend the message and say
had to distance yourself from my good friend Derek. That guy I barely know.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but I just said that he was a dick, and I said I don't conduct my interviews like that, and I gave him the Jason Christoff one, which is an amazing interview. I said our interviews are kind of like this, and this is a recent one, and then he just reached out back, and he said sure, he'd love to come on. So
dope. Bless you, bro. Jack, you trying to say something?
Well, Snafu has brought up the name Derek Bros before, and Jacob Israel. I'm actually a fan of the messages of both of those guys. I don't see them as deceptive, but
I'm not sure that's what he was saying. He did call him a friend after all. He was just a friend being a dick is the way I read it.
Well, I don't know. Which one is... I thought Derek Bros was being accused of being the...
No, Derek Bros was accusing this Jacob Chansley, right? He's like, you're a CIA, and why is people are sending me, I've got the data, and he's like, everybody's sending me this information, and then he's like, how was your time in jail? And he's trying to explain to him, and he's like, well, I spent 3.5 years in the pen, and they wouldn't allow you to have organic food, because apparently he didn't eat for 3 days. And so they actually some of the guards there felt bad for him, and they brought him some organic food. And apparently because he got organic food in the jail and that doesn't happen, that he must be a CIA guy. That's kind of what the conclusion.
Sound like your boy is a hater. Derek, I think that's his name. Sound like he's a hater, man.
He's got a lot of
interviewed him one time, and I aligned very much with a lot of the stuff that he said in the interview. And we've talked a few times. Like, he's not like a super friend, but everybody I'm trying to make and get to have friendships with, whether I interview them or come into my life, right? So he's not like super close or anything. He gave me a few
does
numbers,
he believe that? Does he believe that right versus left dichotomy is real? Or does he fall for that shit, or does he have vision?
No. He wants to total disillusion of the government. And the reason Jacob said something that, we have to kind of continue the government structure because they have all the military, they have all these things. So we have to do it strategically.
That's not horrible. And that's not a horrible idea.
Yeah, that goes against him. Derek wants to disavow all government, make sure it's all goes. So that's where they're butting heads, I think.
Interesting. Good shit.
So he's an anarchist. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say so.
Hey,
what do you guys think? You think anarchy is a viable solution to whatever problems?
Your definition and my definition of anarchy, it appears that all of ours disagree. So can we find I've heard soft definitions, and I've heard definitions that include you got to blow shit up to be an anarchist. Which anarchist? Go ahead.
The anarchy I understand is just without rulers. That's all it means. Like literally, that's all it means.
That's the one I prefer. If it's that, then that's the way it should be. I have no ruler other than him in heaven.
Hey,
I'm not an anarchist. Testing. Just wanted to chime in
real
here,
quick, if I may. Thank you. What's up, Cynthia? I appreciate the support of the mods, and please. Sorry, go ahead, Dick, or whoever it was.
Thanks. I was just going to say that I'm not an anarchist because I'm not against government per se. I mean, I don't like the word governing your mental, but you could, words just a signpost.
He said rulers. I'm not sure government is supposed to be rulers, right?
Let me finish my point. It'll be quite brief, but voluntarism is what's the key to me. If people want to come together and form some kind of structure that they want to participate on their own recognizance, that's beautiful. You got to overcome things. You got to build a bridge. Come together, build a bridge. You want to have some kind of collective social, combination of funds to accomplish things, great. But it's got to be voluntarism. If it's not that, it's forced tyranny, and that's essentially.
I'm not sure how those two
ultimate power that will corrupt.
I'm not sure, Dick, how those two necessarily are not, how they disagree with each other. One is no rulers. The other one that you propose, whatever it was just called, I'm dumb. Voluntarism is still, I didn't see anybody ruling them. They're not necessarily different. No. It didn't seem like.
That was the original idea of what America, from what I understand, was supposed to be, right? Where your government, which I don't think that's the correct word to use for them, is just basically people that are in an administrative position where they could take a tally on what needs to be done and say, okay, these people need this bridge here, they need this road there.
Hold the records of what happened.
Hold the records, exactly. They're not supposed to be our rulers. There's,
Right.
Hey, Talcott, how are you, sir?
You could even have communities, Jack, where they essentially they have certain people, maybe 5-10% chooses they don't want to participate. That's fine.
Yeah. That's right.
You know what, though?
It must be fine. Yeah,
you know what, though? Let me. It's funny you guys say that, because here in Arizona, let me tell you something about the government versus the people clicking up, like you said, like building bridge for it.
I'm in Arizona.
They have this area out here, desert, where they started building tons of neighborhoods, subdivisions, things like that. But it's kind of like ways away from town. And anyways, they wanted to get water out there, But the government and the city and all them were like, oh, no, you guys can't get water out there until we build a new water facility, government run. Well, the people out there were like, we can't go without water or fuck electricity for our fridges. And I mean, there's literally thousands of people out there. And because they shut off the electricity and water sources and said, oh, we're building a new facility, but it's going to take a year and a half. They're like, well, all the farmers, all the people are like, you know what, we'll just tap into the river. We'll pay for the excavation. We'll pay for the permits. We'll pay for all this. They fucking stopped it. They stopped it. They told that whole community, you can't do that. You can't come together. You can't come as regular civilians to tap into a river. It's been a big issue here in Arizona. So it's funny you mention that, Dick, because it does show you the irony of how government tries to control when citizens want to like build a bridge, so to speak.
All right, a couple two things. Now, for one, maybe you couldn't hear Jack was trying to talk, and secondly, I'd like to come out.
You're cool. You always talk. I heard it.
Okay, wait. Secondly, I'm in Arizona a lot. It's not far from where I am. I'd like to come out there and film that shit you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's on the news too, and it's towards the desert. They had tons, probably 12,000 people out there. Not many. It's the subdivisions that they built, but
thank you for bringing what you brought, Snafu. Your lack of I don't know what. I don't know. Just I did want to catch this comment because it ties into what Dick and the topic we were discussing. Yes. And actually here in that situation, we don't know all the details. Maybe these farmers going out to divert the water for their production, their profits, maybe that would affect others downstream, right? We forget, especially in this capitalist world of competition, there could have been reasons legitimately. Maybe it was the reach of government, but who knows?
Well, all right, no. Let's do some odds shit. Well, I'll give my odds. You guys don't have to give yours. That is feasible, and I would put the likelihood at 5% or less that the government had legit reasons to stop motherfuckers from drinking water and watering their crops for a year and a half. I would have assumed that we're building this shit and we're going to need you to spend your money on it, and everyone else, if you have a system in play, we're building this for nothing. We can't stand. You can't tolerate that shit. No, you're going to buy our shit. You're going to buy our drugs.
Yeah, generally anything the government gets involved with is made worse. Like, let's be real.
Of course.
Precisely. Well, only when they don't have oversight. Only when they're just when everyone's believing someone else, some authority is going to take care of something.
When have they had oversight? Is that a thing? Is government oversight a real thing? I don't believe it is.
I believe actually there should be some combined.
We all believe there should be, but right now there is
voluntarily.
None, right?
People come together to provide oversight of any administration, particularly if it affects others.
I've tried that. I've tried to get in. In fact, Chicago, we have a citizens board, which I don't fuck with. COPA. You can't even like you see on the videos. You probably don't watch them where you go in and ask for a police report, and they must give you one. In Chicago, no, you must go through this small people called the Citizens COPA board, and they're supposed to be a citizens review board. We tried this, and all of the people who we wanted in, the mayor said, "Okay, I'll give you the board. However, I must agree with everyone." And I must select the head. She picked all ex-cops and all people she wanted to be on the board who are now civilians or whatever, and put another ex-cop as the leader and took over the board. That's our oversight. That's the way the government does it. And I got a million of those stories, bro. I got one just like with the water.
We can change it or just complain about it.
We're gonna.
I think we should find ways to change it.
We all agree.
We are.
We are. Every day. But that was to your oversight comment. It works with oversight. And I was going to say, I haven't seen oversight, haven't seen anyone write about oversight in history. I'm not sure governmental oversight is a thing.
Right. The police themselves. You do have, a system where people are supposed to be the oversight, take a FOIA request, get that public document. But it's back to kind of what Jack points to, which is the secrets where at the higher levels of government there's so much smoke and mirrors. budget sheets. We don't have access to fucking manipulation of money. It's just it's a shit show.
You go in there and we read the laws, and they'll tell you that in most places, some documents must be available upon inspection to any guy who walks in there, and they will fight that to the end. You can show them the law, they're going to call the police on you. Police kick you out. It's going to get violent. They don't want you to see the simplest shit. Try requesting, we've done this, their credit card records and all of that shit. They ask for thousands and thousands of dollars for that shit. So you can't get it.
All right. So what do we do?
I'm not sure. Anything.
I say we take responsibility for ourselves and back out of the system as much as we possibly can, and hope that idea spreads to the people beside you, and then the people beside them, and eventually it becomes exponential. But if you don't individually take responsibility for your own freedom, then nothing's going to happen. We could talk about it all day long. We can complain about it.
Okay. I've heard that answer by many people that tell themselves they're doing things, but I don't know what they're doing in their lives. When do we start caring about others? I mean, rather than blaming the migration and the people that are trying to find a better life, at the borders, rather than blaming them and investing in this fucking separation, when do we start caring about the citizens of other nations? When do Americans and the Western world, when do we use our freedom and start fucking standing up for the oppression in North Korea, in China, in Palestine? When are we going to start caring?
I think Lou just gave you that.
Didn't America try to fight a war to end the communism in North Korea? Didn't they fight a war against the North Vietnamese? Obviously, it was all fake. We get it. The Gulf of Tonkin.
Right.
But
we're here today. And your answer is, let's just take responsibility for ourselves and let's pretend it doesn't exist. And eventually, maybe others will think like us.
I thought that was the coldest answer I could have heard. I didn't even want to answer behind him because his answer was so cold. I thought that was the clear and obvious truth.
I believe it's the only way, Jack. I really do.
The only way. That's not the only way.
It's a selfish method, in my opinion. Many people, I don't judge anyone who does that. I do not judge anyone for the path and lives they're living. What I am suggesting, and I said this yesterday, my hope is to get these messages, these conversations on greater platforms. Yeah. And if we can carry these messages and these ideas to greater platforms, maybe we can actually bring them into the conversations of the legislators. Let's get in front of the fellow citizens.
Yeah, you're acting like you didn't hear what we heard. We're saying the system is fucked. It's doomed. Getting in front of it, and some legislators, it's not going to work because they're part of the system that doesn't work. And I'm not sure why you called his idea selfish. He is saying,
I wanted to respond
you
to
can
that.
do it when I'm done.
Okay, but you don't seem to stop, Joe. You have a on button, but not an off button.
Gotcha.
Both of you do.
Yes, I was thinking the same shit. But go ahead, Lou.
He responded to me about the fact that it's an idea that's selfish. I would push back on that by saying that if a man, say, for example, just let's take America, for example, but it's the same pretty much everywhere else. If a man decides to not pay his income tax, whatever they call it, his slave tax, I call it, and he decides not to pay that anymore, and that he's going to keep all the proceeds of his labor for himself.
This is you being concise. Okay. This is you being concise.
Hold on. Let me get through it. I know you're better. I'm sorry. I'm not as good as. I'm sorry. I'm not as good as you, Joe. But let me finish, and then I'll give you.
You're exactly like I am. I was just showing you what it's like. I was being you.
I get you, but you didn't give me a chance to finish. I let you finish all the time.
No, you didn't. You cut me off because your shit was more important. That's why we're talking about your shit now, because you cut me off. But please continue, and I'll stop being an
I just wanted to respond because he directed it at me when he said it's selfish. My idea was selfish, and I wanted to respond. That's all.
No, nigga. No, that moment
Oh,
passed. I brought up selfish. I brought it up and
okay.
I was talking. You interrupted me. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I apologize, Joe.
I do too. I don't know why I'm moody.
Because you're shaking a little bit. That's why. I mean, I don't know. No, I personally believe it's not selfish at all. I believe it's the opposite. I believe it's heroic because a man can be put in jail for not paying his taxes, right? A man can be put in jail for saying, no, I have the right to move my property from point A to point B, and no man can tell me not to, right? So that to me is heroic,
I
right?
think Jack saw something else. I think he saw
right,
your
I get
shit
it.
as only working on yourself.
That's heroic. Taking a chance that you'll get caught. Taking a chance that someone else will enforce and impose their rules upon you. That's heroic. Okay, Drew, I'll entertain that. Go ahead.
No, I think the system is designed.
Here's the heroic part. Here's the heroic part. What he is talking about is doing the system, building it the way it was supposed to have been fairness for all and all of that. It's all inclusive, so it's not selfish. Everybody can join to giving them niggas an option to the tyrannical system. While he's doing that, me and cats like me and you, Jack, we now have leverage because there's an option over there. We're going to tell you, get your shit straight or else, right? If they both will work and they need to be done at the same time, in my opinion.
Yes,
hey, hold on a second. Hey Joe, I'm with all that, man, but there's this noise that's happening in your background. I don't know if you're aware of it or not.
I'm sorry, am I?
Is your smoke detector is beeping? It means your battery needs to be replaced.
That's not mine. I don't have a smoke detector. It's not here, but thank you, Toilet Boy.
That's his heart monitor. That's his heart monitor.
Can you hear it or not? I'm not sure if you can hear it or not.
I'm black. I can't hear smoke.
Maybe it's yours, UBE. Maybe it's yours.
This is a black joke. Black people can't change their smoke detectors. This is a black joke.
They don't own a ladder.
But with these breakaway systems, and say there's how much 1%, 3% of people, 5% of people make these breakaway systems, but the other 95% are still continuing on with the American military machine. And if this New World Order and the American military might is not stopped, they're going to go and they're going to smash all these systems anyway. So you can bring it.
Oh, you blinked out.
We lost you, Jesse. We lost you, Jesse.
Well,
sorry, go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, you blinked out, Jesse.
Yeah, I think my connection. So, but it doesn't stop the big problem that we all still face, right? You know, it's great to build these systems, you know, and have these because that's what we want. Ultimately, we want to lead by example, have these breakaway systems. But how does it stop from them coming once they've taken control of everything else and smashing that breakaway system? Unless we stop the military from terrorizing the world and now the its own American citizens, you know, no amount of little system is going to be able to fix this problem.
Jack, I'm back.
But isn't that the story of Jesus?
Thing. You had a point, Jack, with the it is rather selfish because that plan kind of excluded a lot of people are getting killed over there. We got to make a plan for them while we build our own shit. So yeah, we did forget about a few people.
If I could respond to Jesse, isn't that, and I know that I'm not saying this in a religious sense, I'm saying this to reference the story. Isn't the story of Jesus exactly this story? Like Jesus stood up against the Pharisees. Why? Because the Pharisees were converting a sterile product, i.e. currency, money, and creating it, turning it into something that's fertile. So creating usury. Usury is making money fertile. It's not supposed to be fertile. It's supposed to be sterile. And he stood on it alone and went to a cross for it, right? And his movement transformed a whole world. The Romans the Romans were so taken by these Christian lunatics that would stand in front of a lion and just pray and just accept their fate that the lion's coming to eat them. And they were so taken by this idea that these people could stand on their faith so strongly that they gave themselves to it, right? And they eliminated, and for 2,000 years, they eliminated the Pharisees. And there was no usury for almost 2,000 years. And usury just started a few hundred years ago again when the Catholic Church was taken over by the Jesuits, right? And who are the Jesuits? They are, you could just hear it in the word, Jesuits, right?
Yeah. Hey, Lou.
So,
what is your point? You start talking.
I don't know. If anybody else says,
you had a good point, Jed. It's a good point, Jack, in that one person did change the system. One person did change the system, but still at the point right now where we're at with the military, that they're coming. If we don't stop them, they're coming for everyone, right? So I think it's just more than just building our little off-grid communities. That may stay alive longer. But is that really going to stop the onslaught of what there is taking place?
I get your point. Lou's point was to Jack's point. Jack said, if really you want to break a law and risk so and so, Lou's saying a very fervent person risk breaking a law. He got penalized for it, and it worked out for him. It's a short version of what I saw occurring.
I mean, I believe, like we say that they're coming for us. They're here.
Well, amen.
Amen. I like it.
The story of Jesus, it's one we can all assume. We can all find our cross, our burden that maybe God may want us to push through, to persevere beyond. And we are here. I believe I chose, when I started trying to become a believer, trying to find a way to follow this Jesus character, I defined what it was. I figured out the way I saw him. He was a revolutionary. He stood up against the oppression of his age. I want to follow that example. I want to stand where others may not. I want to confront the puppets who have been making the choices to send our militaries off to war and to send the...
Can I interrupt? Does everyone on the panel want to confront these people? I'll admit I do. Would everyone like to do what Jack just said? I want to confront these people, stand in front of them and confront them. Yes, everybody.
People. I'm confronting the demons that control those people.
Very good. Very good.
So,
I don't think they'll hear us personally. I don't think they'll hear us.
It won't change a thing. I don't think those cops are going to hear me. I go out there every fucking day. So, well, actually, my back hurts.
I think we have the opportunity, and I'm trying to be a part of this, planting the seeds. And if it's not me, it can be someone else. We can create the movement, to create the conversations with the people who are responsible for writing the legislation, administering the governance and economics of this land. We can become more involved. We can demand more transparency. We can recognize that we've let money divide us, guys. There's no bullshit other way to say it. Money has been it's the tool of temptation. Everyone's convinced they need it, but brothers and sisters, what we need each other. We need to know the truth. We need to feel and to expand our understandings of love. That's why we're here.
I just called.
Go ahead, man.
No, I just caught the ass, and I just wanted to be honest and transparent. My girl was eating ice cream. We were laughing and giggling like children. Yes,
life is happening with you, around you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I got a little preachy. I'm feeling a bit preachy today. I noticed that energy about me earlier before I hit start.
I dig it, bro.
But I thought, you know what? It's Sunday, so maybe not everyone made it to church. And no, I'm not going to bring out the Bible, but
hell, let's do the church thing. I've never been to church. Some people recommended that I go. Should I go to church?
No.
I would explore it.
Where 2 or 3 gather.
Say no.
You don't need to build them. This is church.
There's benefit to that small gathering in church, but again, my experience, I've discovered some very inspiring pastors, and they spend a week, part of the week, actually really thinking about parts of the scripture and really finding a message to share. I come on here with some quick notes and some
what about that?
ideas that come. What's that?
Yeah, what about that, Sarah? You say no, surely there is some positive in the church.
I mean, yeah, for some people, but for the most part, they go through these rituals that are meant to create an environment where they can indoctrinate you. There's witchcraft occurring in there. So I would say no, but my parents go there all the time, and I'm not going to tell them not to. That's where their family and friends are. So it is a community for them. That's who they talk to.
But if we are going to build enough people to attack or oppose the government and, to create this new system, put pressure on them, there's a lot of church-going people. So that's people of faith. If they just knew and, were talked to a proper way, that'd be a big army right there to be able to stop, what's been going on. So there are lots of ears that are there to with an open mind, hopefully with an open mind that's not too closed by all the indoctrination that they've been given.
Jesse, thank you. That's something I'm working for as well. And any of you who know the truth, right, about the corruption and the criminality of this legal system, even if you don't know the intricacies and even if you're not able to fully explain the problems, use connections. Our churches, I have been trying to get the attention and have conversations with leaders in many different areas. And what Jesse just said, I think if we got the right ideas, a right call to action, we could use the connections of the churches, we could use connections of labor organizations, connections of virtual media. We could change this world very quickly if we come together with that intention and purpose, with the belief that we can change this world. Nothing will stop us.
But we hold the key to their lifeblood, right? I mean, it's not the government, is it?
Well,
I don't think it's the government that's in charge. Whatever the government, Canadian, American, German, it doesn't matter. The governments are not in charge. We know that they're just puppets, right? And the blood that keeps the whole machine flowing in the end is the currency, like you said, Jack, the money, right? And where are they getting that money? Where are they? Well, that's a result. That might be a result of it, but the bottom, the part that feeds them, the part that gives them their power, it's not so much the adrenochrome. That's after. It's the money that feeds them, right?
The human currency. They've transferred the human currency into money, but it's the human currency is what keeps this all going.
Right. And they get it through our taxes, right? So that's how they collect our currency. Our labor is siphoned off from our own labor. They siphon our labor, and that blood keeps them alive because it's what gives them their power. Wars couldn't be funded. Like the First World War happened less than a year after the Federal Reserve was created, right? Because prior to the Federal Reserve, they couldn't fund a war like that. And they fund both sides. We know it. They use our own lifeblood, our labor, our sweat to fund their existence. So if we cut their lifeblood off, we cut their heads off. It's over, right? We stop paying our taxes and that becomes exponential. There's the movement. It's over, right? They just wither and die.
I stopped paying like 15 years ago now, and if everybody stopped paying,
blood. It's okay, Jesse. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that, Jesse, and I really respect that about you. And I'm in the same boat. I mean, I work and I keep my labor. That's it. And if they want to come and see and find it, come after me, come after me. I'm ready to go to freaking jail if I have to, right? But I ain't gonna give them my power and give it to them. I'm just not gonna do it, right? Because that's what keeps them alive. It's that blood. The blood is blood money. It funds everything they do. It funds our own oppression, Jack. Right? And you're right. It's the money. But it's not because we love money.
Okay. All right. So, Lou.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other people on the panel. And
I'll be quiet.
I know you do have a lot of ideas and a lot of things to share. Thank you, Lou. The money has been the problem. That's what I realized a long time ago.
The money?
I realized this a long time ago. Yes, money. The whatever form it's been, the gathering of resources, wealth and power, influence, control over others. It's been kings and pharaohs. Now it's celebrities and, CEOs, executives. Money has been that which has divided us from the beginning. We've blamed race. We've used that excuse. It was race for a while. And then really the underlying one was gender. Gender has always been a division through history. And the reality is, though, it's the power of money. We've given it. Humanity has idolized money. It's people focus their education not on learning about the world, not on actually creating talents within themselves. People
how much
go to
money you'll make.
Yep, they go to college to learn how to make money. What the fuck is that?
And if you go for what you like, whatever it is, liberal arts, I don't even know what that is, but you go for something like that, you're made fun of. I've probably done it myself because I've heard other people do it, say, and talk down to them. Like, you can't make no money in that. Like, why would you do it? Through the lens of what you just said. You're doing what, nigga, I wanted to learn about this. I didn't want to learn about banking. Motherfucker, I understand it pays, but fuck, I wanted to learn something.
But let's call it what it really is, though, Jack, because it's really not money anymore. We know that too, right? It's debt. It's every dollar in your pocket is literally a note of debt. I think it says it right on the dollar.
Can I ask then, in the new society, either you or Jack or Lou, with money, will it work in a way that it's not debt?
If it had something to back it, if it had a value, a store of value behind it, right now all it is our beliefs.
What about Jack, go ahead. I know there's a way, and I don't claim to have all the intricacies on how to make it work, but I know there's a way. We could start within one land, right? Maybe a nation or a continent, and we could find a way to offer the basics. Basic people will have shelter, food, clothing, access to education, energy. We can provide the basic fundamentals and then from there we could collectively work together to create the jobs that the geography, the environment will sustain. You create the jobs where it's healthy for the people, so people actually see the value in their jobs.
I see this working. I'm not even thinking big yet, but certainly on a small level, this looks like it's fucking flawless. The only thing that can stop it is the government. I would, if let's say we are all the 8 of us on this panel all had plots and lots, any project you needed help on, whether it be a well or whatever the fuck you're doing, I'm gonna assist. and the same, because we need each other. It's in our benefit for me to help you and you and you and you. This thing could and would work, and it would work well, because I'm in your face every day, and I don't want nothing bad to happen to you, and that would happen to me. Yeah, I kind of lost it at the
You
end
know
there,
that. Sorry, the Canadian government did that, Jack? They took a town. I forget what it was called. They chose a town. You'd have to look it up to find it, but they took this town and they covered everybody's basic needs in that town. Now
Never
that
heard
didn't
this.
mean, that didn't mean that they couldn't still work, because all that was covered was like their food, their rent, whatever their basic needs were
Rat
they
Park,
covered.
Jack.
They told them you didn't have to pay it back. They told them you didn't have to worry. It's just there. And I don't know how long they did it for, but most of the people continued to work, and they did see a fairly steep drop in crime.
Rat
And
Park.
there was a lot of benefits. Now, I'm not espousing that I agree with this, but it did have a lot of benefits. Whether it's true or they made them up, I don't know. But they said that they had a lot of benefits in terms of crime, in terms of happiness, in terms of art, and people doing, projects that they wouldn't do if they didn't have the time. So I don't know.
It's the
Where
Rat
did the
Park
money
Park.
come from that paid for this?
The Canadian government did this experiment. Look it up, you'll find it. I don't know what the town was called.
So taxes.
Through the taxes, yeah.
Okay.
Sarah, you don't think it was worth it though to find out that little bit? We started off, me and Jack watched a vid. I don't know if you saw it, of a rat that they kept separate and gave him cocaine and shit, and he was an asshole. And matter of fact, a lot of them overdosed, and then they put him in there with other people and amenities, and the rats wouldn't even take the drug. Zero overdoses. Very few even would drink the drug anymore. And so we concluded, at least I concluded, that when given these things, people become a lot more civil to each other. It would work in people too. And he's given an example of that. When certain amenities are basics, at least, were taken care of, there were drops in crime or whatever. Just to know that, to factor it into whatever plan I have for my citizens, it would have been worth it to me to pay that tax money.
Yeah, it's only worth it to me if you simultaneously have the polar opposite dichotomy of that, which would be voluntarism, to play out and see how that experiment works as well, so we can see what really cuts the mustard.
That's fucking
an opt-out. An opt-out option.
There is no opt-out clause in this fucking place, man.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Yes.
But I mean, you can choose, like I said, going back to what I said originally, was individually, we can choose to opt out. Only there remains the possibility of being put in a box, right? Or in a cage.
Yeah, but that doesn't, if you want to go hunt an elk and you don't have a tag, if you want to go hunt a moose, you don't have a tag, you want to go fishing, you didn't register your boat, you don't have a registration for the trailer, for the fucking car, they're going to fuck with you all day long.
Right.
The bounty or the fucking rangers and the Forest Service catching you with that shit.
It's serendipitous, but look at what I'm wearing, Dick. I don't know if you could see it. Hold on.
Identified as a building permit.
My daughter made me that shirt. I identify as a building permit because I don't pull them. I am the permit.
I mean, eventually, if you do too many upgrades, they're going to say, well, now we're not able to get the tax dollars that were rightfully owed on your land, so we're going to have to audit it. And, they do their thing, right?
How
because they got to get their pound of flesh. And if you pay land taxes, I'm sure, right, Lou? I mean, you got to do that.
Yeah, I'm working diligently, though, to figure out how to get a loyal title and stop paying these taxes somehow, some way.
So does anyone on this panel care to discuss the ideas I'm proposing? Not about breaking away, not about taking the risks of avoiding taxes, and not about the past. Does anyone want to discuss the future? And
does anyone want to discuss the shit we were just talking about? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Stop talking about that shit.
Hey, Joe, go ahead somewhere else. I've appreciated you very much for your support, your contributions. But if you're not willing to entertain what the direction I want, and Joe, you've been consistently one of the people here on the panel that I didn't star it.
Careful, Jack.
People have noticed that for whatever reason, a lot of people come on this panel and really don't care about what it is I want to talk about.
I thought that was a false narrative. That is maybe why I overreacted. I'm certain that's why I overreacted.
Well,
which particular idea of the future do you want to talk about, Jack?
Pardon?
Which one of your ideas in particular do you want to discuss?
Well, the one I'm typically talking about, what can we do? Because I know this conclusion is true. The truth will set us free. The truth individually frees us from our confusion, from our fears, from our limitations and our excuses. The truth frees us. So collectively, the truth will free us from the tyranny of oppression of this banking system. We all know it's corrupt. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about how the governments have been sold out to the corporation, how there is fascism today. So I'd love to bring solutions forth.
I definitely.
I'd say one of the solutions, Jack. Jack, how about one of the solutions?
Can I say something? How about one of the solutions for fascism? Excuse me. How about one of the solutions for fascism is Regina Smith stops blocking people like a Nazi down in chat and then starting shit and calling people up here.
Please. I've seen
it's ruining your chat, Jack. You got bitter old women acting crazy down there.
So if it improves, please, can we go through the rest of the stream? Allow asshats to be asshats. Allow profanity to be shown. These juvenile characters that want to cast disparaging and insults and disagreements everywhere. Please, Regina and other mods, please allow them.
I mean, Jack, we look out for people that are being especially just insulting to you, but you should go through and see some of the things she blocked. Like, they were just basic comments. I don't even know what triggered her about them, but it was several people down there, Michael A., other people that were just making innocuous comments, and she was just blocking them.
Yeah, you really need to fix your mod situation, Jack. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. And mods, please.
And I came up because she called me up here. She said, "Hey, let's go up there, Cam. You're the Antichrist." So I guess when someone calls me the Antichrist for just standing up for other people speaking, maybe I want to come up and say, "Hey, let's go, Regina. Get your ass up here."
Well, okay. I admittedly, I have a very soft spot, a little loyalty for Regina. She was one of my first members. She's been a continual supporter. She's been a supporter for me for quite a while. Okay.
So she's destroying your chat. She's not supporting you, in my opinion, Jack.
All right.
She's taking power tripping on you, your kindness.
Okay.
And she's taking advantage of it.
Hey, can I make a suggestion, Jack? During the show, you trust your mods, what they say goes, but you contact them somehow. When it's over, make sure that they're adhering to your rules. But the business probably shouldn't be done in the open like that. It goes against the show, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, I've had people out that have insulted Jack. I feel like it's his panel, his show. There are people that Paul sends over here. At times he does raids. I have no problem controlling that, but people that we're in here just talking. I mean, Jack, I was I'm not coming up here to start shit. I saw her acting out of line. I called it out. She called me out. So here we are.
Kim, you know what? Thank you. And Regina, please, since your name came up, but for all the mods, Flo has been pretty diligent as well with the censorship, and I do appreciate it, because honestly, I think a lot of the chatter in the chat, I see it, and nobody's paying attention to the conversations on the stream. Sometimes it's like,
that's okay.
All right.
That's okay. Some people,
yeah, but you got to respect the engagement, though. You know, that's still supporting your channel.
Some people come here for that. I respect it.
We're learning and growing together. Please, I appreciate the feedback, and you know, we're growing. And Jessica Jane, thank you very much. I appreciate the contributions, all of you guys. I do have so much love for all of you.
I like
Jack. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Jack. I love you too, bro.
Go ahead, Jack.
Where I'm hoping to bring the conversations, right? If we really want to be free, we got to feel safe and secure about the future as well, right? We can't be living in a scarcity mindset, constantly prepared for battle, and
I like it.
You know, the police to knock on the door.
I like it.
I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know
get out of that scarcity. What you're saying is dope. I'm leaving. I'm sorry. We can't run around with that fucking scarcity mentality. It cannot be helpful to us in the cause. Blah blah. All right. I just want you to continue down that. I thought that was good.
Hey, I found that we feel more secure when we know we've got others at our back, when we know others are at our side, when we've got relationships that with people who have common values. And I see a lot of people on these panels. Golly geez, man, they got the same values, the same ideals, just different ways of expressing it. And I think we all care. I genuinely trust that.
That was dope too. We all do. Apparently, we do have the all ideas and different ways of expressing it. And in most rooms, this isn't one of them. The different ways you express become a point of contention and contention, and you fight over that. Here, for the most part, we manage to let people be themselves and express it and try to grasp what they're saying as best we can without all the critiques and criticisms.
The people who have come on the panel who have joined on the panel, they've helped me create that space. I want to thank all of you guys. And you know, here's what I believe, right? We're all in this together. We're all on our own different journeys, different paths of development. But I know that for my own life, I started feeling better when I believed. I had to convince myself that I mattered, that I could do more, that I could become greater than I was. And it took some convincing. I had to face a lot of fucking fears. Let me tell you, I faced fears I didn't know I had. But the point is, I see a path and I see a way right now with the technology, with the movement we've already got. There are so many organizations standing up. If we could bring some organization to the organizations, to the directions, holy shit, man. When human beings come together.
Jack, I got to tell you, I'm pretty frustrated right now because you're not implementing what you're saying in your chat. Like I'm about ready to leave, like, and not even be around here.
You said about the chat already. We moved on. You said about the chat.
Go ahead and leave, Kim. I appreciate your support and everything you've offered. If you want to judge me for others while I'm in the middle of trying to offer value here, sorry, I'm not doing things the way you want. Everyone has a lot of choices. And besides, someone else was trying to join the panel. I don't know who that was. Regina, thank you again. That's, I don't know. I never know what is right.
Well, Jack, everyone has a line, you know, and if it's in your heart and you're convicted in your conscience that you have to stand for something, then you know where your position is. And I mean, Lou's may be different than mine or whatever, but at the end of the day, peaceful resistance and then articulating points and communicating in ways that are compelling that would cause people to look at your views and consider if they want to incorporate it. I think that's the two things you can really do.
All solid shit, Dick. Super solid.
Dick, you do have a knack. You've got a gift of paying attention to the conversation and bringing either an alternative perspective or a nice summarization. I appreciate that.
At some point, I want to ask Machine Lies a question. If it's now okay. Please, all right. Machine Lies, how you doing? Yeah, first of all. We were talking about, the same shit we talk about every day. How do we take over the world, right? So we're talking about the government and how do we get around it? Do we bring it down? Blah, blah, blah. We were getting down to a couple different conclusions. One was we start our own society separate from them, totally separate. And it become, so good. Other people be like, hey, that's the format. And another way was attacking them in different ways through the system and blah, blah, blah. Where do you fall? Can this government be saved? Does it need a lot of work? Where are we? What do you think?
Well, I think that maybe parallel institutions should be set up either concurrent with the government or if not, there is no chance of a technologically advanced society existing next to a less technologically advanced society.
Do you mean a built-in competitive system? Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you have a built-in competitive system, then it would have to function globally the same way it does now. Because because
it's got to compete with the government. It's logical,
yeah. Because there's institutions that run the world, but those institutions are not based on human energies. What they're actually based on is economic and technological models, and those models have certain constraints. You know what I mean?
He said, "Man is colder than the computer. They're doomed to fail." But go ahead.
Good shit. I mean, in a way, you'd have to change the economic and technological basis for the society. You couldn't just create up a separate society that functions next to this one.
It would have to
in
be,
my opinion.
Yeah, it'd have to be built to compete, and that'd be difficult.
Oh yeah, it couldn't compete with a global system such as the one we have now.
Is that true? That it must be built to compete? What if it just remains, off on its own, if that's a thing, which is probably not.
Well, like I said, there exists little chance of a technologically advanced society existing next to a less technologically advanced society. Usually it takes it the fuck over. Usually one will take the other one over. And since we're dealing with a global system, we're talking about the world is connected through wires and planes. People want to talk about economic change. They're not really talking about money. What they're talking about is planes and wires, that connect all parts of the globe. So in my opinion, we either need alternative technologies or we need some sort of a global effort. But that global effort can't result in a world system the kind we have today, but it has to result within local systems, and that's where you get people like
saying that too. We were starting there too. Locally, it seems like everything could work.
Yeah, you couldn't do it locally with the technological state, but go ahead, Jack.
Maybe with different technology, you're saying, right?
I'm sorry to keep your thoughts, please. Kim, feel free to bring your ass back up here and let's discuss your words. Serious. Hey, I've got a full panel here. RT, you were last up. I'm going to drop you.
Jack, I'm going to jump out. I thank you for having me up and not kicking me for the first time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Lou.
Good. Very good.
I kicked him just for the hell of it.
Very good. I dig it.
Guys, I am a man of peace. I mean, these accusations, ad hominem attacks, mischaracterizations, little temper tantrums, fucking emotional insults, outbursts. Come on up, Cam.
Jack, you know what I think what it is?
Actually, let me back off, please. I'm sorry.
Jack, I think what it is people need to change the smoke detector batteries of their heart. You understand? There's something going wrong out there.
Dude, you're another one, man. You run around these panels.
What I say, Jack? I'm trying to agree with you, man.
I know.
Find common ground here, bro.
I know you are. And you know what? Let me not be so rejected.
Yeah, man. Don't bite my head up, man. I love you, bro. I'm just trying to be here.
Guys.
I had a reason why I came up here.
Isn't that a bit of a resistance is futile kind of philosophy then? It's like the Borg where basically you can't coexist next to that technology. So unless there's an alternative, which it appears there isn't, you're just Cro-Magnon against Neanderthal.
Yeah, fuck that philosophy. There's always where there's a will, there's a way, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, fuck that bullshit. Fuck the Borg.
Well, don't let the technology is bad guy with the green.
Well, I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting because I hate to cut this guy off, but he's actually dumb fuck. Hey man, there's actually a Borg. There's actually a Borg.
Why are you being rude? That's
very
rude, bro.
The Borg
Have
is the
some
machine's
respect,
version
for your fellow
of what a human would be like. But but if you look at Data,
Come on up,
Data
Russ.
is a little different. He's kind of like the human. A human's version of what a machine would look like. See, Data
all right, the
wants to be human.
machine's version of what a human would look like, and a human's version of what a machine. No, it's a human version of a human.
Jack, what the hell?
They were shooting for Data to be human.
Yeah.
Sorry, RT.
It's reverse engineering. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's your channel. I mean, gee whiz, dude.
So why did you interrupt Dick and Machine Lies?
Why did it interrupt?
He wasn't saying much anyway. It's okay. Go ahead, RT.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, what is the whole point of this?
I don't know.
Of what?
I don't know either.
I know my purpose, my intentions. What caused you to click the link and join?
Well, that's a damn good question.
That's a fair question. Yes.
Do you have an answer?
I wanted to hear Joe Cool giggle.
You can hear that from chat, nigga. That's bullshit. You can hear that.
I wanted to hear Machine Lies tell some shit that's legit.
Everybody does except for Toilet Bowl.
What?
I wanted.
What are you talking about, bro? I want to hear what
you just said. I don't really get it. Nobody wanted to hear what I had to say.
Guys,
I wanted to see Jesse.
What's this about the jibber jabber? I don't really hear anything.
Machine Lies.
All right,
please.
calm down.
Bunch of psychological warning going on here.
I wanted to see Jesse like, in his driveway, as this gal is like, "Oh hell no, you're not bringing that shit in here." That's funny. That's hilarious.
So these are the reasons you clicked the link?
Well, I'm just sharing, Jack. I'm just sharing.
You're sharing what? What do you think you're sharing, RT?
Well, it's just part of the whole situation here.
Can I offer a little help, perhaps? Is it possible?
Please do.
Is it possible you had a thought, you had a feeling that sounded like a good idea, you clicked the link, and then you came up, and then, without really thinking, you interrupted the conversation to air your complaints? I'm not
complaining. I'm not complaining.
Let me get to the point. What I believe you came with the intentions to share without knowing it is confusion. And that's why I was trying to get
I'm very
clarity in
confused.
your intentions to see did you even know what you were doing, or is confusion bringing you? You're in the perfect spot, brother. You are.
If he was confused, would he know the answer to that?
Not until he answers it for himself. And that's why I asked if he understood his intentions. I know my purpose. I know my intentions. I don't know that many people who join actually do, like Lou Bass and, now RT.
Yeah. A lot of us know. A lot of us know.
Well, a lot of you think you know, but you really lack self-awareness and situational awareness, perhaps.
I don't lack it. I don't
Okay.
lack it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That could be true too. I don't know you.
It's very true. Yeah. We don't know each other. And I don't really want to know you. I'm just joining. Yeah.
Well, so let's continue with your thoughts. You don't want to know me, but you click the link to join this panel to offer your observations
because
of what you found.
I like Freedom Grower. I like Machine Lies.
No, don't bring me into this, RT,
well,
with your terrible behavior. My God, you got to stand on your own square.
Well, it's an answer.
Touche. Freedom Grower.
It's an answer, though. He clicked the link because he
only
admires
likes me when it's convenient for him. Otherwise, he'll be kicking me in the balls.
No, that's not true.
You know how this works.
I love you guys. Seriously.
And Jack, I'm not shitting on you, dude. I'm just like, what is the whole purpose of this whole thing? That's my question. I mean, come on. If you can't say it,
we're sharing our ideas, our perspectives on things.
I get it, Dick.
Okay, but so why are you trying to, create chaos and disruption?
I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do that.
What are you
can explain it in a sentence. Like, I listened like a couple streams ago. Like, it was unbelievable how naive people were about what they thought they were going to do. And
how do you think we were doing right now before you hopped up? How do you think we were doing?
right now before you think we were doing?
I thought you guys were echoing.
Somebody.
I thought you guys were echoing.
I guess it was intentional. Sorry, I thought it was. I thought it was unintentional. It appears to be an intentional interruption. So,
yes, please.
Here's what I trust. I trust that everyone is where they are supposed to be. There's a perfect order to the revelation of all that is. And most people think they are, think they're in charge, think they're right.
I'm tapping my fingers.
There's a reason you were brought here. Your spirit. Here's the way I see it. Our spirit brings us, and then our mind comes up with the explanation.
That's dope. Yeah.
Oh,
especially if we don't choose our actions with intent. If we're not living intentionally and with purpose, like clicking that link for the purpose of, I'm clicking this link for the purpose of.
Yes, I clicked it.
For the purpose of.
For the purpose of, what are you trying to accomplish here?
Wait, let's cut to the chase. Why don't you say what you think we're trying to accomplish here?
I have no fucking idea.
Well, if you want to know, all right, we'll tell you, and hopefully.
Okay.
All right. Somebody, anybody?
Yeah, there you go.
The pursuit of knowledge, sharpening iron with iron.
I like it. I love it. All right. Now, what were we talking about?
Or in some cases, sharpening iron with a dull.
With the wet noodle. With the wet noodle.
All right.
Okay. There you go. Wet noodle.
Yes. It's the pursuit, though. It's the journey. It's not the goal. These are the times. As Jack is fond of saying, now is the only moment.
Well, I thought it was about solutions and stuff. I don't know about the knowledge part, but
Yeah.
I get the sentiment.
A lot of times we talk about energy, right? We talk about energy, the type of energy a person comes up with. In particular, I'm thinking it comes up here with. right? We talk about that a lot. You can find a person by what energy they're bringing here, right? So far, you guys are bringing a lot of insults and comedies. You're not adding that thing that you talk about, knowledge, and the thing you say the show's lacking. You're not adding a lot of it. You're doing worse than we were.
Dude. Oh man, we're just only adding comedies. I mean, all we're doing is asking what is
failed attempts
purpose?
at comedy. To be, you
can add right now. You can add. We told you.
Dude,
only fails.
I can do comedy big time.
No, not the comedy. I'm talking about to the knowledge. Ain't that what you say we were lacking? Add, show us, teach us.
I'm not saying. I just asked a question. What is the whole purpose?
We answered your question. We've moved on. He's answered. How many times you want an answer? Pursuit of knowledge, pursuit of God, pursuit of energy. What?
Okay. Then
to defend RT here, he's asking, what's the point of the endless looping, day after day in, day out, talking about the same shit over and over?
Is that an accurate paraphrase of what you were saying, RT?
It's an insane projection.
Hold on, please. RT, was that an accurate representation of what you were saying?
All I'm asking.
Please answer the question.
Say no, RT.
Okay.
Well,
no.
If you're here trying to find the looping or the answer beyond the confusion.
Yeah.
The confusion is within you. This is a place where we're here to share truth and wisdom, some different perspectives. There's a lot of actual experience and knowledge that's been gathered here in the beings who are present.
I get that, Jack.
Okay, so RT, in the presence of a lot of wisdom.
Yes.
Is there any respect?
Very wise.
Is there any respect within you? Are you even able to recognize the opportunities, or are you just an ungrateful?
No, I'm not ungrateful, and
okay,
I totally respect you as a broadcaster, and I respect Dick, and I respect the Machine Lies, and there's part of me that even respects Toilet Bowl Earth. Because he's a very smart dude.
Oh, God, say it's not so.
Hey,
RT.
No, thank you. RT, thank you. That helped me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I just, listened in to a stream the other day, and it was like the most childish, like dreaming of stuff of like, I don't know if not Chiquita was on there, like people thinking they're going to change
I caught that one. There's some
they're going to change the world and do this weird shit.
RT, hey, RT,
exactly. Yes,
if you
please.
think it's foolish to believe you can change the world, guess what? Number one, you're wasting my time. And number two, you won't change the world. Simple as that. And if you don't want to change the world, if you don't believe the world can be changed and improved, please feel free to leave the panel, and we'll continue conversations in the topic of trying to change the world.
Jack, dude.
If you don't mind, because that's what we're trying to do, change the world. You're mad that we don't do it, man. We're trying to do it right now, and it looks like you're preventing us. Add to it. Come on, help us.
No.
Correct?
Listen.
Or are you worthless here?
We got to keep it real, though. We got.
We can do that in a minute. Right now, we're gonna change the world. Let's do it. Come on. What do we do? Come on.
How do you know what is real, RT?
What?
What determines real to you? Solutions or just problems? Excuses or opportunities? What is real to you, RT?
Oh man, look,
put me on the spot, brother.
Those are all perspectives. None of those are real.
What is real is like when I go to the greeting card aisle and I read these very moving, slogans. That's kind of like what's going on here.
So you're treating this
that's
panel
what you do with your
like
spare time, RT, is you sit in the department
Right.
stores reading greeting cards?
No,
Now it all makes sense.
not what I
It's
do.
all clear now.
Well,
I give
Not
you
what
any
I
of you-
do in my spare time, but when I go to buy a card, I'll see Jack slogans everywhere.
For hours, he sits there and reads them.
Well, so
Yeah,
maybe there's
dude.
something greater than just what I'm saying. Maybe there's
I know
something
Dick is just
more.
being a dude.
There's logic to that, Jack. There's logic there.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe he's hit that vibration, that tune, that lines, and with a bunch of other people on that vibration, the same people who think those thoughts, write those greeting cards. Maybe we're onto something with this vibration bullshit we talking about.
Yeah, there you go. It's at Target. It's Jack.
You just think it's all a bit cheesy, RT, right?
That's what
Dude,
he's saying he tunes
I
into
have so
this.
much experience. Yes, it's cheesy as a motherfucker.
There's a whole bunch of your answer, RT? What is your answer for? Oh, you believe the world can't be changed. So how do you protect only the few that you care about?
Is that what's going on?
What I do is just like, you must
All right, T, come on, baby, come on! I'm rooting for you, man. I'm trying not to criticize you. The jury's in.
Joe,
Everybody
RT
thinks you're a
didn't list us
knucklehead.
amongst the people he respected, so you don't need to.
Give me
what's that? What's that, Flo?
I said you didn't list me or Joe amongst the people that you respected, so he didn't need to.
He got interrupted.
I respect you, Flo's sake. Yeah.
Okay.
Who
Well,
gives
now
a
I'm pulling
shit
for you,
what I
RT.
think? Who gives a shit what I think? But I think Machine Lies is a solid dude. So whatever, y'all can suck it.
There's many solid dudes up here. And
well, RT,
occasionally
as
you
long
get
as you're
a
up
solid
here.
lady.
Yeah.
As long as you're up here, there's a thing we do where we ask each other these little dumbass questions. If I could ask you one, it's going to be it. All right, my man. I'm trying to. All right, you get pulled over. Machine Lies, your buddy.
Here we go.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, your buddy here, Machine Lies, is driving. You're a passenger. Cop asks both you cats for ID. What do you sit with that? You ID, you're a passenger.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean,
the hesitation alone speaks volumes, Mal. You're in the room.
No. I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, I have no dog in your hunt. Yeah,
that wasn't the question. What? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna show the fucking dude my ID. What the fuck?
What if there's a knife in your pocket?
This is driving or walking?
He was a passenger in the car in this situation.
Oh, passenger. I mean, I wouldn't do it as a passenger. I mean, if I was a driver, I definitely give them my ID and stuff. But if I was a passenger, I'd be like, why do you want my ID too?
Right.
I'm not driving or anything. Like, am I committing a crime? I mean, I would really ask them like, why? For real. But yeah.
Yeah, this isn't business between me and you. You're dismissed.
This is all so. It's just like, garbage. Like, what are you thinking?
Well, I would like to ask you, what are you thinking if I walk up to you on the street and told me to show me your driver's license?
If you walked up to me on the
excuse me, I wasn't done. Excuse me.
Hey, dude,
stay with me.
If you walked up to me on the street, I'd be freaking out, dude.
All right.
If you walk up to you
on the street, let's take me out of it. Some guy walks up on the street. All right. Some guy walks up to you on the street and asks you for your driver's license that you don't know. And ask you for your driver's license, you probably wouldn't give it to him. Why would you give it to a police? What's going on there?
If you walked up on me, I'd freak the fuck out and get the fuck out of there. Yeah.
You said that. Yeah.
You
said that. You said that.
Yeah.
So the other part about some guy you don't know asks you for your driver's license, you're probably not going to give it to him. What magic thing goes on when you give your cop an ID?
If
What's
you
going on there?
walked up on me, I'd
No one's
fucking freak
talking
the
about
fuck.
that but you. How often can you deflect? How long can you keep this up?
If
Right?
you walked up on me,
All
I would
right, a little
fucking...
longer apparently. Go ahead, say it a few more times. Get happy, get it out. You don't want to answer that question, yeah?
What
Here,
question?
you know
What
why?
question?
You heard it 3 times. Cut it out.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Please say
I
it
don't know,
again.
Joe. You're a strange looking character, man.
What is it that you would give your ID to a cop who you don't know, but not to a stranger? What's going on there?
If you walked up on me, dude,
yeah,
I would never
yeah
give you shit.
And that's what's going on with why we can't take over the world, why you hate this room and all of those things, because you can't participate in this type of conversation, right? You're weak here, so all you can do is criticize. You have nothing to add. I haven't seen it yet, but negativity, which we don't like.
Thank you. Let's change the subject, if we may. I think, RT, there's some things to consider there.
Yo, why are you pressing RT so much? Why are you on that dude?
I press everybody.
Well,
all right,
Joe
no,
does.
he's not special.
What
I
a
do that
fucking
shit to
loser,
everybody.
dude. Get off
I was
TBE.
just getting
TBE.
started, bro. Trust me.
Yeah, actually, Joe has. I've been learning from Joe. You've got a method of communicating that I admire. You're able to press into the egoic conclusions, which are really illogical. Flo does it well too. I've seen a lot of you guys.
Must not disturb the groupthink. Must not disturb the groupthink. Must not disturb the groupthink.
What are you doing? Do
He's
you
being
have?
clever.
Well, he thinks he is. This is the ego. This is the thing I'm talking about. The agent of chaos.
It must be ego, because I've heard you and everybody else say ego is really insecurity, and I'm absolutely 1,000% sure this is insecurity. So in some fashion, it must be ego.
I don't know. You just felt so threatened that you needed to press the dude so hard.
I do
Why
that
you
to
acting like a
everyone.
cop fed,
and
bro?
Look, and everyone up here knows me, and I've probably done it to everyone up here a bunch of times. So no one's gonna buy that shit, bro.
Well, and TBE, let's not deflect from you. Okay, because now you're kind of
continue with the groupthink.
Yeah, he
chatter.
must
It's okay.
deflect
Go
from
ahead.
him. He's
Let's
like,
change
you
the
guys,
world, guys.
yeah,
TBE,
Let's change the world.
TBE, you find a problem with that? I mean, you claim this Christianity, but holy crap, you hide behind this fucking belief.
Yeah. You know who changed the world? Jesus Christ, and all of you deny him every single day.
Hey,
good.
Where do you think I deny when I've repeatedly offered my prayers publicly that I thank God, I invite Jesus?
Because you espouse this whole change the world thing, bro.
Hey, you are caught in your religion fanaticism, TBE. I encourage you to stop fighting and creating chaos where it's not needed.
So, can we talk about religion? Something, and Jesus and stuff. Something we might find common ground on.
Common ground.
Well, we can. I can bring up something that that's why I came up on panel, because I hear this espoused a lot within this weird community of religious pluralists that they bring up the verse in Luke about the kingdom of God is within you, which is it's funny that you hear this, and it's a common sort of tactic for people that live like this, that they extract verses out of the Bible and they construct this whole worldview around it.
That's exactly what you do.
No, I'm not.
Sorry to
Let me
interrupt.
finish.
Go ahead.
Let me finish, Jack. So when we look at this verse, we have to look at it in context to who is Jesus talking to in this passage. Does anybody know on panel?
The verse is, the kingdom of God is in you.
Yeah, who is he talking to?
I don't know.
Okay. So he's talking to the Pharisees who are actively denying him. and they're talking about, where's the kingdom? Where's it going to be? And Christ responds that it's not going to be this big spectacle, that the kingdom of God resides within the Christian believer and within the community of the church. And if you and this is the thing, like when we look at scripture,
he didn't say Christian
hold on
believers,
1 second,
did he?
1 second.
He
I'm
couldn't have
not
said
finished.
that. There were no
Please.
Christians. I'm sorry,
I'm not
but it
finished,
sounded like it
please.
went weird.
Hold on, I'm not finished. Like when
All
we
right.
look at scripture, we have to look at it holistically and all the things that Jesus says about the kingdom. He also says in John, he says that the kingdom of God is not of this world. So what he's pronouncing has nothing to do with, God is just within you, just go live the way you want. He's saying the kingdom of God, that verse is also translated as amongst you or in your midst. He's announcing his presence among them. He's giving them a taste of the kingdom of God.
Isn't that what we say every day out here?
You don't. No, you're not. No, you don't.
You bring a disagreement. Where are the facts to this conclusion that
that's all we talk about is God is in us and blah blah,
right?
And that's all we talk about.
Outside you adding the part about that he's saying it that this is for
do everything you want, and the Christian thing, yes.
In the midst of you, I mean, it's all interpretation at that point. TBE.
Yeah, Christ couldn't have said Christians, right? He wasn't no Christians yet. He's Christ.
Yes,
all you really just said, man. All you really just said was that what the kingdom he's referring to has to start with the internal world instead of the external world, and that doesn't conflict with anything that anybody has ever said on the motherfucking panel.
The belief in
it
Christ,
actually doesn't conflict with any ideas mentioned.
TBE. TBE.
You guys are confused.
Where do you find the confusion? I suspect the confusion lies within you. You are projecting.
Okay, now you're projecting. You're projecting.
So let's discuss. Let's find out.
No, you're confused. No, I'm confused.
Can be revealed. Let's see if the truth can be revealed. What would help us to know? Which of us is correct about what is actually being said? I mean, we're not disagreeing. You've imagined a disagreement that we're not.
I just wanted to talk about it. I said when I started that this is something that I hear a lot within this weird fringe community of religious pluralists.
And so you believe the people who are, for me, I've shared this line from my own experience, brothers and sisters, that which Jesus spoke about, the kingdom of heaven, it is here, it is now, it is present, available to be witnessed, experienced, and known.
Yeah, only through Jesus Christ, though. Only through Jesus Christ, though. It's not through your own
words. TBE.
It's not through your own works and your own feelers. It's through Jesus Christ, period.
TBE. Okay, you can be right with those words. Now, your intention, your aggression, your energy tells me you do not understand God nor Christ.
I'm just correcting you, bro. It's tough love.
Okay,
tough love.
No, that's what you're saying, but what is really showing is your insecurity, your defense.
Okay, now you're projecting, Jack. You can quit it with that. We can talk about the facts and stop psychological
the facts
reporting.
are to correct us. You pointed to a verse that says what we do every day in order to correct
with the psychological
us. You think
reporting.
You had some type of victory or something?
Well, hold on.
I don't need your psychological reporting. You're not my therapist.
Definitely don't need it, and you don't want it because you know the truth stings.
Okay, TBE. Now, the line that we're discussing was my words from my experience that the kingdom of heaven is present within and around. It is here, just as was recorded in Luke, as allegedly spoken by Jesus. So, TBE. Your disagreement with my words, my experience, was you insisted upon the qualifier that it must be through Jesus. Explain that. We may not have a disagreement, But you're insisting
Jack, I don't know what your true feelings about Jesus is exactly.
Right.
So, I mean, because it's very ambiguous, because I've had conversations with you before, and I've outright asked you if Jesus was God, and you just kind of waffled around it saying, well, everything is God, and the energies and the God and the woo.
Rather than TBE, I put you in the back to interrupt you. Okay. We can discuss your disagreements, but your complaints about disagreements don't really help.
How do you know how much people love Jesus?
And whose connection is better? How arrogant and ignorant to think that somebody else's connection is not as good as their own. That's so arrogant and ignorant.
How the fuck would you know that?
Well, you're a Muslim, number one. I know that for sure. Dick, you've actively said it.
Hold on.
Jesse is some sort of other like weird, ambiguous spiritual person. Flow State doesn't like Jesus. Joe Cool, I don't even know what.
30 years born again. Jesus walks with every step that I take. So you're saying
just
what?
decided it for everyone.
That's so weird and arrogant and ignorant to think that you could know how somebody else is connected, especially without even asking them.
Toilet Bowl Earth is like the least loving Christian I think I've ever met. Straight out the gate, he violates the second most important rule that Jesus said.
There's a pile of them that spread hate just because you don't believe in total alignment with what their beliefs are. But the whole concept of this life is for us to have our own beliefs and, interpretations, and we put out our energy towards how it comes around.
Free will that God gave us.
Who we are, and that's
Toilet Bowl Earth would be happy to take it away.
Nobody's interpretation is better than anybody else's. We all get to have our own interpretation. That's against separation. That's just a dumb part of us too that we got to help heal.
Here's something I'd like to point out. In my perspective, I know what's within me, the thoughts and the feelings I have. I love. Okay. So I know I'm not alone, that there are many people who follow love, who follow the way of the Christ. Now, what TBE, brother, what you are demonstrating, and many of our churchian brothers and sisters, this religiosity, you guys are the modern day Pharisees, dude. You want to be a Pharisee or you want to be a follower of Christ, TBE?
Because
do you want to be a Pharisee or a follower of Christ?
I love the Pharisee cope polemic. It's he's trying to correct us on blatantly ignorant things. That makes me
rather than air your disagreement. Can you find the value?
We have boundaries upon like what the faith tells us, and we can't just go wandering off, like interpreting things on our own, like thinking that we understand.
Why would anybody think that Why would anybody think that you're able to interpret Christianity better than the rest of us?
Let them squirm.
No, you said how much people love Jesus. So you have a Christ meter.
Those are expensive.
Even though the Bible says you can know another man's spirit but God.
He's got a Christ radar.
But people put people in a box, and it's so sad. Then they think they're so righteous in doing it, and it separates them from everybody else. And it's sad to witness, especially if you feel stuff like that.
And here's the truth. If you look at us as naturally formed beings, which we are, the fruit of a man, the fruit of a woman, it is their word, their deeds, it's their actions, it's what they offer to those around them. That is the fruit. And TBE, if you claim to be a Christian, why are you sharing such bitterness and judgment?
You can tell a tree by the fruit that it bears, baby. I like it.
Our fruit can be sweet.
He's got his safety blanket.
I love how you guys
his
are
bottle. It's what he relies on, so he doesn't have to think too much and actually consider what he's been
so judgmental and pharisaical. But then here you go,
you're right, Dick.
Judging me by my fruits. You guys don't know me outside of this fucking screen. You don't know my life.
You're right.
You judge us
We are
harshly, and you
wonderful,
don't
Floyd.
know us. You judge us harshly, and you don't know us either. I'm not sure that argument that you're giving is going to hold.
You
And
don't know
regardless,
you don't know how many dicks I've taken.
Stop. Hey, and regardless, TBE and others, viewers, I mean, this is an interaction conversation. It can be a learning lesson for others, but the image that you carry of yourself outside of here, none of us give a shit. No one cares if you're an angel or a saint somewhere else. If you're an asshat, in our experience, guess what you are?
Agreed.
We can only judge by what is offered.
Yeah,
And
I dig it. And what energy
this,
are you offering, bro?
well, it's up to each of us to offer honestly and to judge ourselves honestly. But it's so easy to place ourselves up. I mean, and I'm going to use, just because it's been a recent example, I'm going to use the Christian hypocrisy that I see.
Yeah.
Got all these people that call themselves Christians because they follow the tradition of going to a church once a week and listening to someone talk about a book. Now, maybe some of these Christians may even read that book a few times during the week, but they think that because they discovered this one path, that they have the all-knowing, that they found the answer that no one else can possibly know the secrets to except their little cult.
Yeah, I agree.
Nonsense.
The box they put God in.
Amen. There's no God
the
in.
box they put God in.
Yeah, man. They put it in a box.
Sassy,
and
I'm
how do
so
you do
high.
that? Me too, brother.
I thought she was still in the car, bro. I'm like, how you get in the house?
No, I just think that it's important to mention that within Ephesians, because he talks about the kingdom of God, and he talks about he actually talks about a physical kingdom. In Ephesians, he talks about the rule of this age. The rule of this age is a rule of evil, that'll come, that's actually going to culminate in the abomination of desolation. And then there's going to be a rule of Christ. So he does actually talk about a physical kingdom, so much so that there is that interpretation of the Bible. He says that, for this age, there's going to be violence in this age, and of the age to come, there will be everlasting peace. So he actually does say that, and he doesn't make distinctions between physical and non-physical, kingdoms there. So, I mean, it's just important to note that there's a contradiction even within what he said about Luke and that Bible verse. It's completely trash. It can be thrown out,
All right, I missed so much of the verse I couldn't
The millennial
keep up.
reign.
But I would love to debate that. I'm so high, I don't know if I could though, because I couldn't even keep up with the conversation just now. But I would love.
That was good. That was on point.
Hi guys.
Hey Cynthia, how are you?
Cynthia.
Yeah, I wanted to come up because Jack touched on a really, really good gem there a while ago. And so we're even going to take out Christianity. This is in the Bible, but just for this argument's sake, we're going to take out Christianity. The gentleman earlier was saying, how do you know what Christianity is? Okay. And that is, and y'all kind of touched on the fruits of the Spirit. But, what are the fruits of the Spirit? Are they, and it's someone that's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness,
sounds logical,
gentleness, and self-control. So whether we know you outside of this app or in this app, we judge you based off of this app. So if you're somebody that comes up here and tries to derail Jack, like what fruit are you putting out? If you come up here and begin to go at battle with the other people on the panel, what fruit do you have? If you're a content creator who just likes to bash people because they don't believe like you believe, what kind of fruits do you have? And that's just something that's a good bottom rule in general, even if you're not a Christian. Look at what people have and what they bring.
I love Jesus. He walks with me every step of the way. I was born again 30 years ago, and I live my life the best that I can. And meeting all you beautiful people is, benefited my life to be able to converse in these important things. And I think the more of us that are getting in these conversations that are really bringing people together is very impactful for the collective. It's immeasurable for sure.
Same. I'm a huge fan of Jesus. I consider myself a relative. He live in me. I have a duty to others through him. I'd never survive, never make it a day, a moment without him would be hell. I think me and Toilet Bowl probably align more on shit than the imagined and crazy shit he couldn't come up with that we disagree on.
I don't think
Awesome.
Jonah really got swallowed by a whale.
Hey, are you okay if there's some things that you're never gonna understand on this side of Earth? Are you?
You better know. You better be okay with it.
You
better be okay.
Or are you gonna continue to seek until the day you die?
I'm gonna seek to the day I die,
I know
knowing
you are.
that
That
I
one,
will
yep.
fall
That one.
short. Yeah.
Yeah, it's infinite.
It's up to each of us. We don't have, I mean, we can live our lives however we want. I'm offering, please, these words come from experience. You don't have to have a belief in God. You don't even have to think of God. You can live your whole life without even a thought. And you can be a good person without God in your life. But I'm telling you, it is so much easier to be good, to be selfless, to be forgiving, to be generous. It's so much easier to be those things when you have faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your community, faith in what you know, faith in the divine, faith in the unknown.
Yeah.
If you can have faith, you can have peace. And if you can find peace, you can share it.
So be a Christian, because Christians will give you faith. Thank you for that message, Jack. Jack says everyone be a Christian, and Muslims suck. I hear you.
No.
Jack. What? No, that's not what you were saying.
These religions have different paths. I don't agree with the totality of any of them, to be honest. But
about the same. I think there's good and bad in these religions, as there are good and bad. And people starting to get down that lane that it might be idiotic to think that you must choose, and that it's kind of like black, white, dim, Republican is kind of an illusory thing.
Right.
there is the value, though, to be found, and the wisdom is there. But the point of the religions, we've got to recognize, what is the goal? The goal is to
Become
the goal
love.
is to have faith and peace.
Become love, someone said.
Become love, for sure. Just be the best loving you can. It doesn't matter what religion, belief, road that you're taking to love. How can someone else say, be arrogant and ignorant to say, my belief in love is better than your belief in love?
You got to get there through my route. You got to get there my way.
Right?
Yes. I already found love. No, you didn't come my road.
My route.
Nope.
Now we're gonna separate because your love is better than my love. I think they made a song about that or something.
The mountain road. I took the low road. You took the high road. Yeah, I think that's love, and I think that forgiveness
is a big part. And forgiving yourself. That's where it starts.
Yeah, you don't know that, and you'll be shocked because that's really the only forgiveness there is forgiving yourself. All right. When you forgive yourself, you don't need things like apologies, right? You don't need to stick shit in people's face, right?
You just be better,
right? You be just so happy that they learn better or something. Who the fuck needs an apology?
Totally. And that's real love.
Amen. Joe, I heard you on a different panel the other night regarding the solution. People were talking about solutions, and you brought up the forgiveness aspect. people finding a way to overcome the past, to find forgiveness for the crap that's been done.
I don't remember, but that certainly sounds
done.
like me. I don't remember, but I believe what you're saying right now.
Hey, you were on a roll, brother. The Spirit was flowing with you. It was all true and it was all loving. And that really is. For me, the message of the Christ was that forgiveness and faith. Through forgiveness and faith, healing is found, life is preserved. And that's what we're here for. We're here to preserve and capture as much life as we can. And so what is life? Life for us, it's memories. It's those memories of experiences, the energies we feel. I was thinking about this earlier. I was remembering these interactions with people at the store. I think that's the thought I was having. I remember the interaction, the energy, the joy. I couldn't see a face. I don't remember who it was. But
I got a good question for you guys too when you're done.
Go ahead.
Do you guys believe in ghosts?
I believe in intelligent spirits of intelligence beyond us. Yes, I believe. But
I was called Casper once by a Hawaiian guy.
I see mostly angels and the real bad demons and these dark things that people say and they've seen and have manifested. I've never experienced any of that. Just some shitty humans, projecting that demon out to me a few times that had to, deal with.
I didn't hear anyone say they believe in the conventional ghost. Grandpa is haunting the house. No one believes in that.
I think that happens.
That's
I think
that's the thing.
I've talked to lots of people that actually can smell the cigar smoke and then actually have conversations with people. So some people are more, likely to have that if they believe in it.
I agree with Jesse. My parents had moved into a house and a lady had died in the house and was dead for 2 weeks. She was agoraphobic, so it took them that long. And then they moved into it next, and they had left all of her stuff in the basement, like her
wow.
And she was
I believe in energy. That's spooky.
She was
already.
a showgirl on the cruise ship, so she had like her costumes, her portraits, everything. And my mom kind of became obsessed with it. Like she even put them back out in the house, and I would like never go there longer than an hour, right? Because I was like, something's not right. But it became
so
like
what happened? Tell me, damage house.
Yeah, so it became like they would wake up and my mom's shoes would all be out in her bedroom and stuff. Like this lady was kind of coming more. And so I never stayed there. But they eventually donated all of her stuff to her historical society. And after that, she never had any more problems after it. I think it just got too much for her.
Use your memory to self-program by way of conscious, repetitive practice. Oh, Guru, I should have known with conscious intention. Use your memory to self-program.
Hey.
Oh, that was nice. Cynthia gave $2.
Well, that's
the troll Cynthia did.
That's what I thought. That is what I thought. Thank you, trolls. In your honor, Cynthia. It was a donation in your honor.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
I donated to myself earlier as well. So thank you.
Yeah,
carry on, impersonators. Keep doing good.
Yeah. That's the fruit of the spirit. Like, look at that person who's probably doing that. What is their fruit? What is their age mentality like? Like they're doing this for attention. And it's okay. We love you.
I heard you said your ghost did that, Cynthia. It was like nothing at all. It's like it didn't even happen.
Exactly. Nothing there. Like
I
it's a
think
white
there's
gorilla.
certainly something to energy signatures though left behind in houses and in places where significant things happened, or people
It
lived for
seems
significant amount of times. Even if I still go back to my grandparents' house, they haven't even been there for 10 years, they're long dead and gone. I can still feel that energy, and maybe you could say one hand it's all memories and whatnot, but there does seem to be like a energetic thing going on there.
With everything being frequency and vibration, right? Even the chair, imagine how much when people put life into these items that have that frequency and vibration embedded into them. So everything has life.
As proof of these things is possible scientifically, I haven't looked into it, but that water study where water holds memories and you could program it and shit like that, then that would mean water wouldn't be exclusive. It seems totally logical that your leftover articles would contain memories and shit, whatever you injected into them. It's even logical scientifically now with what I know.
Well, I think in terms of and I'll just say this really quick, that in terms of the kind of mind, there is no province of the mind. We actually don't know what dead matter it takes to create mind.
I hear you, baby.
Yeah, we don't know.
Where
we
does
don't
that
know
come
how.
from, right?
Yeah, we don't know how the mind emerges from either life or matter. So we don't actually understand the province of the mind. So memories. We don't know where memories are contained.
All right, slow down, Machine Lies. I gotta think now, because I'm one of those matter is everything type of shit. I thought I could put matter to everything, but now there would be absolutely no. Is that a thing? Absolutely no matter. That's the thing.
There's energy.
The field
matters.
Energy creates boundaries, and the boundaries become forms, and the forms become density, I guess. But
according to Einstein, energy literally is matter. So if energy exists, it must be matter. This is a hard concept. No matter.
Okay. Well, hey, hold this thought, if we may. I want to.
Wait. No. I'm sorry, please. I don't want to lose this. He has good shit. It's hard to believe that matter moves around as fast as I think. He has good argument too, man, that there is something else.
Yeah,
outside of matter.
Like when you said what dead matter it takes to make the mind, how it emerges out of the nothingness into somethingness, or the formless into form.
Must it adhere to the rules that we know now, that force carriers must be a boson or some particle? Would it have to adhere to our rules? Does it have to be energy have to equal matter? Does it exist somewhere else where these rules don't apply, aren't necessary?
It never gets destroyed, so it just gets transferred. That's why that energy will always just be flowing somehow in some way.
Still don't know if it's matter. I know the energy's there, and by what my little knowledge is, it means matter must be there. But I'm a small person.
Bro.
But isn't everything matter?
I thought it was, but it may not be, because at the speed of thought and where these thoughts come from, I don't think matter could exist there. I don't think matter could move. I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Tell you what,
no, you're right, because the thought happens in the formless. That's one thing we can observe that's not happening in a state of matter, right?
That's what I was. All right, how can it be both?
It's a long-standing question, Joe. Please just hold the confusion a little longer, okay?
I'm good.
I wanted to address a couple of things. Nude Guru, thank you. The insight you're offering, these are right in line. I don't know if we've spoken before, but this is what I love. Whatever you practice, this is actionable, right? Whether energy and matter are separate or one, great. What does it matter to us? What matters to us is what is beneficial for our lives. And this, brothers and sisters, whatever you practice in life, you get better and better at it.
You're better at it, I
Positive
agree.
and negative. Pay attention. Choose wisely. Make that the first practice of choice itself. Thank you. I love that. And Tony Taylor, thank you. No strings, just love. God bless. Appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
cool.
Thank you. The fascination, this world we live in, we were just I mean, the conversations we've just had, first religion and spirituality, to the ghost and the transcendent spirits, and the mystery of what is matter, what is energy, where's the source of those things. These are mysteries. It's my belief God gave us these religions, these unbelievable stories that are actually probably pretty true, considering how many unbelievable stories are being lived right now.
I'm thinking there's no need for matter. I'm falling on that side in my head.
I believe the evolution of humanity will eventually transcend the requirement of biological bodies. I believe we could actually eventually transform into specifically beings of energy. Who knows? That's if we survive.
We have a lot of untapped skills like that we still have to,
Oh fuck! I'm back to matter could exist. Fuck. It could exist. Assuming it exists everywhere, then a thought could move that fast because matter is always there. So it could move that fast.
What they call that a Akashic record that everybody's connected to.
Well, scientists is going to tell you that for you to exist, you need the brain, right? Because you're going to have a part of the brain that produces the part of self and places it in time.
Right.
It's maybe it's your prefrontal cortex or whatever. I don't know. But you'll have this aspect of the brain that's representing all this. But what the Machine Lies said, I mean, how did that come out into existence out of what? And what are the building blocks? Oh, they're toroidal fields, interconnected. And what are they made of?
Wait, are you talking about literal
and energy, brain? Magnetic and dielectric,
Did you take it to the
matter?
The literal brain, Dick? Are you talking about the literal brain as we know it, or were you talking about
the scientist is going to tell you that it's the literal brain has the sense of self and the sense of time, and there's regions in the brain that represent this in material form, and that's what makes it exist. And I would say, well, I don't necessarily buy that, but even that being the case, you've still got the bigger question of how does that come into being so well designed, obviously out of nothingness.
Yes. It still seems like nothing. There's something in there came from nothing, even if you're right. Yeah.
And by nothingness, I don't mean nothing. I just mean no thingness, right? It's not
right. Of course, something is, but no thing. Yeah. Which again would make me go to no matter. If somebody says nothing, it was gonna make me start thinking no matter again. That quantum entanglement shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that actually has tangibility is experiences that are in the mind. Matter has no tangibility. It actually has the opposite of tangibility, which is fungibility. All matter is exchangeable for all other matter. So matter actually has no definition. Matter is actually the assumption. We assume there's matter. We know there's mind.
I dig it.
Is that why they're calling this thing holographic?
I can give you some proof of your theory there. When you put matter in an atom smasher, a particle accelerator, and you slam them into each other, and they break into pieces. When you track the piece that's flying, for the smallest moment in time, it turns into different shapes and parts of matter. Some of them may be a magnetic particle, so it'll be invisible. It'll disappear off the screen. Then it'll reappear as this type of matter before it settles on what it's going to be in the end. So it looks like it can take on all forms of matter. That one piece of matter, it can be any fucking thing.
If it matters, it matters.
Guys, I don't know about any of you, but even the viewers, my mind is feeling expanded trying to follow some of these concepts. This shit is getting deep, man. I love this. I appreciate this. These things, it can sound confusing, right? And it can sound like gibberish. I've seen some comments on some of the things, but it's actually pretty profound and at the same time obvious and simple too. There's an inner
complicate things.
And I dropped a link in the chat for those that want to follow Flo.
Thank you, Cynthia. I was gonna thank you. I appreciate it.
You gonna do a stream later? Is
yeah,
that
I've got it scheduled for 9:15. I wasn't gonna I wasn't gonna drop it in your here until you're done, or if
Brilliant.
I am gonna go live. I just kind of aimed it when I thought that you'd end, but I'm not rushing.
I don't know what time zone you're in. It's 7 here. I'm West Coast.
Oh, really?
Central.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, so a few minutes. You know what? This has been a great conversation, and we've already run longer than usual. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm having fun today. Today was my intention. Today was kind of a Sunday church fellowship, discussing freedom and the adventures of life. Fuck. We don't have to make.
Speaking of the adventures of life, you went out the crib the other day, and I forgot what the rally or whatever it was about. I'm stupid. And I think you said you talked to somebody else again today or something. Or I forgot what you say you did.
Oh, today I went to church and talked to mom.
That was probably it with the church and talked to your mom. I talked to my mom today too.
Talking to your mom is a good thing.
Yeah.
It actually is. For anyone who hasn't done it in a little while, give your mom a call. Golly gee, she might appreciate it.
I told my dad one time, listen, man, I'm grown. He's like, Joe, you always be the young to me as you ever were. Meaning you can never close that gap. You already always be fucking the same to me. I had to face that shit.
Oh, man. That is an interesting aspect of the human experience. We create these images and these bonds, these attachments that seriously, they will transcend life, I'm sure.
But it's that same bond, attachment that you find to your kid or your parents or siblings, is the average person, is every other person do that same bond? Do you owe it to them as well, or at least the feasibility of it?
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'll
more simply,
it would seem so.
It would seem so. Is every brother, every person out there on the street your brother? In the same way your brother is. You gotta love him the way you love your brother. Forgive him, whatever it is. Does he deserve the same shit that your brother deserves?
Of course.
Fuck no. Well, how about this? Two things. My answer to that is I only live now. Okay. Yeah. So who is my brother? Who is my sister? Those are those who are with me in faith, with me in love. And I
think Jesus said something like that. Yeah, I think Jesus said something similar.
I don't know if this is real or not. If this is John St. Julian Baba Wanda, I don't know the pronunciation. If that really is, we should talk sincerely. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm thinking the guy has his mind made up. Blah 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 blah. But I don't know. I think he's got his mind made up. He's been watching you for a while, and he's got his. And he can be changed and shit, but he already has an opinion about you.
Actually, sincerely, I mean, I don't know if this is the real one, but that name, John St. Julian, is a man on
It's
YouTube
not.
that I
It's through
follow.
a sock account that has no
Thank you.
views, no subs.
Hey, all right. Beautiful. For those who don't know that name, I encourage you, look him up. Matter of fact, I should offer this because Paul and I should have a conversation about this at some point. He and others were, I think it was Christos most recently, he and others were bad-mouthing this man that they've not met. They've obviously not investigated, presented him as some sort of shyster who's trying to hustle money.
Yeah.
No I believe his story, and I believe he is honest about what he's showing. He started an orphanage for disabled children in Tanzania.
Yeah.
Started out as a shelter for animals. Then he saw the suffrage of children, and particularly the disabled who were being abused.
What beef can they have with this cat? What beef does they have with this dude? What's the beef? What's the complaint?
And I've actually spoken to him.
I've like him. Have you, Jesse?
Yeah. So he was going to come on to the Missing Link and kind of do his first interview, but when the whole sea thing hit and he had to go back into the village, and then he's gotten sick, and so he's been having a little bit of a rough time right now.
All right, now because I have a suspicious mind, now I'm wondering, is he the message that he brings, and are they accusing him of not being the message that he brings? He's over here dodging Missing Link. I got a cold today. I got to consider that a possibility.
No, dude. You know what? I encourage you to look him up. I'm gonna here.
He's got a good message, so that's the thing. That if I'm in alignment with, then that it works for me. If I don't see any of this, shyster stuff, anybody can imagine.
Oh,
anything,
that was it. He's grifting. Right? That was their complaint. I forgot that fast. Yeah.
Well, I encourage, look it up. ShareTanzania.com. You can investigate and use.
Oh, wow.
But I tell you, if I this man speaks of God with
subs
love.
This cat got? I can't tell from here how many subs he got.
174,000. But his focus, as I understand, is the orphanage, and he's an inspiring story, and
for sure.
It would look, and this could be, it would look like he's got it shit together. He's been doing this for a long time, which is mean he if he's a grifter, he could not have survived this long, it would seem.
We're living. The grifters do thrive, but listen, I encourage you guys, listen to a couple of his videos. Listen to the energy and to the words that are being offered. He presents some beautiful presentations on the possibilities, right? That there's this divine force of love, energy, endless energy, endless potentiality. It's this field of life.
We gotta watch him. Now I feel like he's a salesman. We gotta watch him. Can we watch a couple minutes of him? I judge people way too fast. It won't take more than 30 seconds, and I'll think I know everything about the man. Let's see a minute if we can.
Here, he's got one short I've not watched.
Yeah, there we go.
You have the most powerful force in this world if you are living free and unblemished from the world. And that is the power of God in your prayer. But it must be focused, believed, and dedicated. It mustn't be loose and empty. It mustn't be, please God, do that, and then go back to your worry and anxiety. You must be getting on your knees and giving thanks and tears for all the goodness in the world, whilst there is a horror show going on around you.
Amen.
Because when you do that, your frequency comes out and starts to alter the horror show to match the frequency and will of the source of it all, who is emanating through you at that time.
Yeah, it's hard to hate on that beard and that sweater. That's just saying, right?
He's done some really good ones. He did a pretty critical inquiry and presentation recently on Russell Brand and the role he may be playing in today's world. I encourage you guys to explore him. In my mind, if I envisioned Jesus, he'd be saying and doing kind of what this guy's doing, without the miracles, I guess. But I don't know. Hey, the work he's doing, he is
a miracle.
He shared some of his experiences dealing with dark energies, with witch doctors, and all sorts of crazy shit. There's some wild lives being lived, guys.
Yeah. I have some good stories I never told you guys along the lines. Me and my guys used to get high and try to see the other side and do experiments and shit. And some of them were like crazy, bro.
What? You saw the shadow people?
I don't want to go into it now. I probably shouldn't have brought it up. I hate people who do that.
Well, I had this roommate, and his brother came into town from Vancouver, and I guess they did something called salvia. And whatever it was, after that, he was different. He was changed. Ooh. So what he told me, he ended up even going to a psych hospital after that. How it changed him is that he was talking to an older, wise man without any words in this other consciousness. So they were having a deep conversation. And then the guy told him he needed to go back, and he didn't want to. So he was fighting going back as this thing was telling him, you need to go. So part of his like consciousness got trapped in this conversational realm, and after that he changed. Like
all right, I'm gonna have to tell my story because this
is why I don't try new drugs.
That's the shit that me and my guys, I'll give you one of the stories. How I found this out, that's exactly what we did the mental talk, and then I did it other times after that. Me and a friend, we were getting high. Y'all know what happy stick, love, wet, PCP, but it's not really, but it's kind of embalming fluid anyway. Psychedelic type shit. And we were driving to my apartment. He was driving. I was in the passenger seat, and he was completing my sentences. I was like, and I'm an analytical fuck, so I was like, it's not feasible for him to complete my sentences this fast unless he knows what I'm saying. So I did a little experiment. I thought a thing but didn't say it, and I remember it. I left my keys. That was the thought that I had, and he opened up and said, "No, I got your keys. I brought them with me." So he was in my head. So when we got back to my crib, we started doing it. It was Halloween. Must have been like the next day. A day it was like candy corn and shit out that my girlfriend had put out. We were doing it, and I was like, "You can hear me?" Yeah. And we started testing the theory because I'm that dude. Come over here, go over there. And now I'd never opened my mouth. But he can hear me, and he spoke with his mouth, and he did all the things I did, and it fucked up when I said, I do this all the time. Like, well, like, yes. What do you do? I say, who you down with? He said, I'm down with you, nigga. I said, I'm down with Jesus. He said, I'm down with Jesus too. I say, well, let's wait on him, see if he comes. And I sat down. And he lost it. His energy changed. Stop that. Cut that shit out. Eat some, drink some. And it got really fucking weird. He tried to make me eat some shit. I'll extend the story. He tried to make me eat the candy corn. I wouldn't eat it. I had to fake like I was eating. He got really aggressive in my face, tried to snatch the Bible. I got a Bible because he was acting so crazy. And tried to make me drink something, and then I opened the Bible to read it, because shit was getting weird. He snatched it from me. He's like, "Motherfucker, I'll read it." And he looked, and he froze, and he jumped. I snatched it from him, and I read the passage that said, "Do not be mad at the person who tries to give food and drink to the mute." Something I've read the Bible several times. I'd never read that passage, and it froze both of us. And I remember, in this world, you have powers. You can do anything over there. And I said, I want my girl to come. And as soon as I did, her keys hit the door. As soon as I had a thought, and then I had a negative thought, which you can't do over there. And I know that. I said, what if these spirits have her too? She come in. She hadn't even seen my friend who she loves. She didn't say, "Hey, babe," and kiss me. She came in and tried to take the Bible out of my hand without a word. That was the first time I spoke. I said, "What are you doing?" But that's just one of them. I got a million of those.
Hey,
the next morning, this is so old. I'm sorry. Let me give me 1 more second, please.
Yeah.
The next morning, this is when you had answering machines, and my guy was just blowing it up. Joe, pick up. Joe, pick up. You know, he's like, what the fuck happened? You were talking to me, but your mouth wasn't moving, bro. Like, I know, man. It was crazy. Oh, sorry, Jack.
We have a lot of skills that, you know, I think a long time ago we talked a lot less and we were just more instinctual. And I think we got a lot better because people use those words to divide from each other.
I dig it. These guys, this is all out war. You know, this isn't by accident, it's by divine. I'll shut up.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, just I want to offer. Flo didn't say anything, but he stepped out. I think he's about ready to start. Yep, there he goes.
All right.
So
that'll give me time to fuck my gay lover. Then I'll go and see Flo.
Party.
I'm going to.
Did I say that out loud?
I just dropped the link for Flo's stream. He is opening up. I also recognize the time. We ran long. I think I should probably fix some food. So I'm going to get some nourishment after we wrap this down. Hopefully I'll end up over there, but parting thoughts, machine wise, like you to stay
stories like that. It's just cool to hear people's perspectives. I had I'll tell it one day when we did acid inside a church. It's kind of interesting. But,
sounds like a good story already. Please don't forget to tell us that.
Catch you over. Cheers.
Another time.
Thanks for having me up, Jack. Everybody in the chat panel. Peace.
All right. Flo, thanks for the after party. Love you cats. This night went very fucking well. Easy.
It's been fun. Thank you, Joe.
Great show, Jack. I'm loving your energy. You're doing so good. I'm loving where you're going. I'm loving the conversations. I'm excited to see the growth. I'll see you at the after party. Bring your beer, okay? Oh, wait, bring your soda.
Hey, this was you, right?
Yeah.
This one, bless you.
Oh,
Thank you, my
sister. Well, someone said something rude, and I just figured I like the way everybody's just putting back love out into the chat, and everybody's just you're seeing a shift, and I'm liking it.
Respect. Thank you, Cynthia. We'll see you later, sister.
I love that. I love this platform. Thanks again for hanging out and just showing that there is goodness out there. And, you know, we just have to connect, and the better we all become for it. So I applaud you in your mission, and keep going, brother. See you later, Machine Lies.
Jesse, thank you. You've been a great example, right? With broadcasting, with the consistency, with the creativity, the encouragement, the light. And you've been a great supporter and friend. Thank you, Jesse. Machine Lies, you are a patient man. Your patience, I've been watching and admiring, wondering, where does that come from? Thank you. You've got a lot of wisdom, and you are a patient man. Please feel free.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Well, I think I think really it comes from, physically, fasting twice a week. And I need to get back to that, because ever since, I've been going through this emotional issues, I've kind of curtailed my fasting twice a week. But yeah, I think, fasting from, sun up to sundown twice a week. Usually I do Monday and Thursday. I think that could put a physical thing. And I think just, living with more simplicity in your life, taking away the cell phone, taking away the car, taking more walks instead of taking the car, walking more places. I think that ought to give people a lot of patience, and also standing up to people, not allowing conversations to just go to the wayside, and actually confronting everything, taking it all in, even the criticisms about yourself. I think I said it last night that, even the man who criticizes himself respects the voice inside that does the criticizing. So, we need to all, get to that level,
even the man who criticizes himself respects the one who does the criticizing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's an inner critic. We can become resentful of that critic, but oftentimes that conscience within us, well, what do you think? Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's not. Or am I misunderstanding what you were saying? Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I think one of my teachers said it best, that when you hear an idea and you go, there's a voice in the back of your head that goes, then that's usually the right voice. You have to question what you don't understand, but at the very same time, you have to understand that all truth comes from within. Because how would you recognize a truth that's coming from outside of you? If you don't know it, you wouldn't be able to recognize what it is. You have to know it for yourself in order to recognize it outside of yourself, so to speak. So all truth really comes from within. So don't question what you know. We are all set to question what we know. I think what it really is we have to go with what we know now.
Yes.
And I think most people don't even do that. They stay questioning or trying to gain more knowledge. They pretend as if the quest for knowledge is incomplete. There's many things we know right now that we can move forward with, and they're very
Brother,
simple.
Amen. Let's continue that conversation again, okay? Because this idea of taking action, even without all the knowledge, knowing that, I don't know, that what you just said inspired a lot of conversations. I'd love to continue, but I think it's time for me to wrap up. Machine Lives, thank you, my brother. I'm going to throw you. Brothers and sisters, all those who joined the panel, those who joined the chat today, bless you. Thank you. The contributions today, thank you. I'm very grateful for all that is offered. CIA, I'm improving. Thank you for seeing the work. Thank you for seeing my improvements, because I am working to grow. I am really intent on trying to become better, more. I'm trying to become a more effective communicator, a more grounded example for others, and hopefully the right words are coming through. And today, the messages I wanted to share genuinely is the freedom of life. It begins with you. I've mentioned on a previous stream, we're made in the image of our Creator. Our Creator is the essence of freedom. It is a sovereignty. It is that which rules. You can become the whole sovereign being of you when you become one with that which is. Because that which is all of the world around you that you can see and perceive, all that which is revealed for you. And all that's revealed for me is revealed for me. So let's bring these together, brothers and sisters, because that's who we are. There's one source of creation. We are one family here on earth, brothers and sisters of time and the layers of the past. So what we do with our future, what we do with our time today, it points the direction. It directs our energies, our attention, our energy, our will. They are very important. And I want to thank all of you, brothers and sisters, once again, for sharing your time, your energy, your attention with me, with us. And please help it to grow. The idea I have is, let's create a movement, something new, something to bring forth that which we all want. And I think what we all want is love. We're here for love. Thank you again, brothers and sisters. Replace the fear with love. Find love through gratitude and praise. Till next time, thank you again. Choose love. Live without fear. God bless.